are in need of dice, I can lend.
You're based in Cubao?
Right now, no. I'm from Taiwan. Thinking of moving actually.
I'm wondering if your neighbors with one of my gamers, Uriel, I forget where it is. I know how to drive there, I don't remember the place. Basically, if I were in Cubao, I take Aurora. If Aurora goes into, yeah, eventually, I turn left near the Sabungan. There's that building where they have stoplight. It's not that, it's parang I think 2 blocks away from the hospital. Along Marcos Avenue.
You know what? Where was the last time you were in this?
Years ago.
Was it years ago?
Yeah, I haven't, no, it was about 2 years.
2 years. You turned left somewhere.
Right. Basically, from Marcos Avenue, I follow the road, tuloy-tuloy. So you have the sports, the sports thing. And then after that, on the left would be a hospital, further down the road. And then eventually I turn right into a small subdivision.
One of the subdivisions there.
Parang that. Yeah. Parang I remember theirs was a woman's name.
So that's interesting.
So mad with names.
Is it not feeling best for
So it's live now.
Yeah. So it's on? Oh my god, there's no light. There's no reassurance that you know if it's on or off.
Yeah.
You spy camera.
It's a spy cam.
You evil spy camera, you. So we will be playing 7C. The basic system requires what we call hero points. Everyone will start with 1. And GM starts with 1 for each player. Hero points are basically spent to activate advantages you have, so I've listed them down there as necessary. Other uses for hero points include when you assist another player, you can spend your hero point and you simply declare how you're assisting the player. It could range from actual physical assistance to verbal, morale boosting motions. Like in our games, we've had stuff as simple as they look at each other and then nod. So there's that kind of end, and that's enough now. If you spend a point in that way, then you're aiding another player. That gives them 3 points, 3 dice. If you choose to spend for yourself, 1 point is 1 die. So it's really systematically encouraging you to help each other rather than to help yourself. I don't know if, I think one of you has camaraderie, which the basic effect of that is when you spend for another player, that player gets 4 dice instead of 2. It's a bigger boost. One of the quirky parts about 7C is your death spiral, which is your health levels. So there's circles and there's stars. Circles are the normal wounds. Stars are the dramatic wounds. The stars have a guide at the bottom, because when you hit your first dramatic wound, you get what they call the John McClane effect, which is you become better because you're hurt. So you get +1 die in everything, because you have reached your first dramatic wound. By the time you reach your second dramatic wound, however, the villains, and note it's the capital V for villains, so this does not include the brute squads, which are the mooks, but the main villain gets 2 extra dice against you. When you hit your third dramatic wound, the John McClane effect hits again. Now all your dice have exploding 10s. So 10s now allow you to roll further. And then when you hit your fourth dramatic wound, that's when you're helpless. And when you're helpless, you can spend a hero point to still act for that moment, and then you're helpless again. But usually Akoy don't even allow that, because it's an advantage to allow. The worst part about being helpless is when you're helpless, the villain can spend the danger point, and that's my version of the points. and simply say, I kill you, and you're dead. But any other player can spend a hero point and intercept that moment. So it's the perfect scenes in movies wherein I beat you up, I knock you helpless, you're there, I laugh as the villain, I get the gun, I train it in your head, and you from across the boat, you see that happening, you spend a point, and you decide to go to, you get the rifle, you've never used the rifle before, but you shoot that moment, ping, it hits the blue blade, then I look at you, but that's basically why the system exists. It basically means the player who spends a hero point automatically blocks the kill attempt. And then the story continues. What weirds a lot of people out in this game is after the dice have rolled, when you get races, you practically don't fail anymore. So for example, let's say you were hoping to swing from the chandelier to attack the enemies. So I might say that's a finesse athletics move. So your athletics is 3, your finesse is 2. This is the first time you're doing athletics in the scene, and then you described it nicely, you get an extra die. So that's your dice pool. You roll, and you create sets of 10s. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and then this is 4. Okay? With your 4 races, you now basically have narrative control for 4 things.
Okay. For two.
It's seen as actions, but I prefer to see them as snippets of a moment in a cinematic way. So for example, with your first race, so you're down to 3, you will state, I grab the chandelier, I shoot the other end, and then as it falls, I swing across the room. It's fine. With your second race, with your third race, you now tell me what happens next.
Okay.
So you might decide that you land on the windowsill, you give everyone a goodbye, and then you jump to the other building to escape. For me, that still falls under athletics. So it just costs a race, and you do that no problem.
Okay.
But let's say you wanted to encourage the queen to jump into your arms, so you'll leap away with her. Then I might say you have to first improvise to convince. And if you improvise, because your approach was athletics and it's not convinced, that will cost 2 races.
Okay.
And then with your last one, you can now use athletics to jump away. See? The problem with that is as you try to do so many things, it starts eating up your races.
Right.
Which is why there are certain advantages that allow you ways around it. One of you got dynamic approach, which basically means instead of spending an extra race, you just pay a hero point to improvise to a different thing. Others might have certain bonuses with certain actions. What many advantages do naman is they totally eliminate the need for an action. Surprisingly, most of you did not consider those, which is interesting. For example, there's one called, I think it was over here, which is you spend a hero point to lure someone out of a group, and then you knock them out of you. So you actually basically did a convince, did the hide, and then you brawl in one single point.
Right.
So that's how the game works. It's meant to be. But that's how the races function.
Yeah.
It works the same way in combat, because you have what we call dramatic scene sequences and action sequences. A dramatic sequence is really only different in the sense that it can be a long drawn out moment before the next race is spent.
Okay.
So for example, if you snuck into a castle because you're pretending to be some nobleman who demands to see the king, and let's say you got 5 races for them, and you've convinced them you're the nobleman. I might say in that moment, an hour passes and you're walking around the place. It's still these 5 races we're going through.
Right.
And then you might decide, okay, I'll improvise, and I'll now hide somewhere in the room so they'll think I've left and they don't know I'm still there.
So you shift it to another skill, essentially.
Yeah.
Like hiding.
And it's still the set of races we're spending. Once the races run out, if there are other players who still have races in that scene, then you're forced to wait until they empty out of their races.
Okay.
But once everyone's out of races, if the scene needs to proceed, that's when we roll again. But typically, we've had instances wherein once people have spent the races, okay, we're done. No need for races. Let's just go through the scene and roll it.
Like if they become a patient or something.
Or because there's the only point naman kasi of races is if risk is involved.
Right.
And if it doesn't seem to be a matter of risk anymore, then
It becomes fun.
what else? That's pretty much it. Yeah, wounds. You only keep your wounds for I remember it's for a session, for scene. For scene, yeah, for scene.
The dramatic wound.
Yeah, wounds vanish away after the end of a scene. Dramatic wounds stay.
Okay. But what if, let's say, for example, I have a C?
And then you lose all your wounds.
Yeah.
Then you're still at dramatic wound C, but you'll start gaining wounds from the other end.
Oh, okay. So it counts, yeah. But do you get the...
The benefits, yes. They're still in effect.
Oh, okay. But it's not cumulative if you go to...
You don't activate again.
Yeah.
It's just to show that you know the stakes are bigger.
Right.
Because you're already at that point. And those are the scenes in the movie where the guy was previously injured, but in a later scene, he's hiding the fact that he's injured, pushing through. What else? I think that's it. I think we covered everything.
Yeah, sounds... Wow.
I hope you're not lost.
Totally first.
Well, then again, you're supposed to follow, right? So, you know, we can start with it. I totally forgot we're supposed to follow. Okay, so. Yeah, I had this brief moment of, okay, let's go to character creation. No, that's done. I made sure that's done. Okay, let me just open my file. Oh, gosh. I've been running games for practically almost 30 years and still have the gym. Ay, you get water and drinks para tuloy-tuloy. Tuloy ko rin. Tips natin. Yeah. After I kept thinking Adventure Time. The evil penguin.
Yeah.
References. Nocturne.
One more thing.
Yes. The plug there, where the
Okay.
Got chocolate. Yeah, you can get that. Yeah, next time. So if you spend a hero point, eat the chocolate.
yeah.
Sulitin na yun, sulitin na yung binili ka.
Okay, yeah.
Actually, I use it's an advice I got from Sponsor, but I use M&M's for a million. So whenever I need pizza. Hope for the second.
I've been my brain's a blank. I don't know why.
Want to get up sleep?
Yeah. Just the jitters. Don't know why.
It happens.
Our scene opens with Katarina standing on the deck of the Morning Star. She has one arm extended holding a pistol and the other arm holding her blade. All around her, as if in slow motion, a battle rages on as people are shooting at each other, stabbing into each other, fire and smoke curling into the sky as the waves crash against the two ships. Across from you, a man stands. He is gray, and there is no other word that captures describing him but gray. His skin, his hair, his clothes, all gray. And the only thing that isn't gray is the black oil-like liquid that is his blood, pouring out from an open wound in one of his wrists. As the man stares at you, your mind races back to the events that led to this moment. Somewhere here at the Widow's Sea, on a ship with a group you've learned to call your friends, you find yourself fighting against the man known as the Admiral, Peter Pavia, a man who seems to command the very waters of the Widow's Sea. We flashback. And we open our flashback where? Your choice. Where are you?
Where are you?
It's up to you. What would be a normal day in the life of Katarina?
I would say it would be in the port.
What's her normal thing?
Her normal thing. Her normal thing would start outside of her villa, running away from the usual boringness of noble life. As I'm
You are, I guess you are climbing down the wall.
Yes.
Above the wall, we can see everyone in the frocks and the gowns and the suits, but you're climbing down the wall, insistent on breaking free from another boring gala. It never seems to end, all these endless parade of galas.
Yes.
But then again, it's also because your mother has been struggling to find you a husband. As you hit the ground, you chance upon an unexpected sight. You are currently smiling at the man directly in front of you. The woman who was being mugged cried out for help, and in your heart you could not ignore this. You strided forward, saw the man on the verge of beating her down, and joined the fray. When the man saw you interfering, the first thing he did was pull back and try to threaten you by drawing his knife. Really badly scratched and unpolished blade. And you responded with,
Please, sir.
"Don't you please me, you're not even from here. Mind your own business."
Well, the lady's my business.
Looks at you angrily, and he darted forward with the blade, hoping to intimidate you with it. You could clearly see, though, he had no knowledge of how to properly statuize 1 point of weapon. What did you do?
I'll try to disarm the brawl.
What's your brawl?
Who?
No need to roll. Deftly describe how you disarm him. As he tries to stab you with the blade,
I'll grab him by the wrist and then I'll put him in a lock.
and the knife is still in his hand, or does it fall off, or?
As I finesse on
The knife drops from his hand, it clatters to the floor beside the woman's face, the woman gasps, and you land to see this right now happening. As you tell the man,
next time, it will not be your wrist, I would say. Maybe 1 or 2 of your wrists.
he looks at you, struggles, but to your surprise, then turns pale as a sheet, as he looks across from you and sees her. Madame Catherine! And starts running away. You turn and see her, she's having climbed down a wall filled with vines.
Well, I look at her and curtly bow my head. A greetings from a gentleman, as demanded by my
Knightly stature.
knightly stature.
And I agree to you, good sir. The woman squeaks upon seeing you. Madame Catalina,
What is this?
she stands up. This man saved me. My thanks to you then.
Well, there's nothing to think about. Helping helpless ladies is my responsibility.
You realize the man's foreign. You've both been casually exchanging words in Old Tayan because it all started with Old Tayan because of the poor people. On camera, yeah. But you notice the clothing, the look, definitely not from Castile. None of the brown, bronze skin of Castilians who toil in the sun.
Pardon my manners. I'll speak in Castilian.
Shifting.
You know Castilian. I'm impressed.
You hear the woman gasp, still on the floor.
It's like love at first sight. I look at her the same. Are you supposed to come to go back to your duties?
See, she stands up.
Thank you again so much.
She grabs your hands.
If you ever need a place to...
Well, this is
She
for
blushes, looking at you.
for a small dinner. You perhaps can surprise me with a Castilian delight.
He's very good with his hands.
And he rushes up.
Seems like you have a way with the ladies today.
And it seems that you have your way.
Looking at the wall, it's really high wall.
As they have introduced me, I am Katarina. And you are?
I'll move forward, grabs her hand, and kiss it. I'm Arthur McDermott from Abad.
An Englishman. An Avalonian, I see. Well, what is your business here?
Well, the wind told me about a certain beauty here in Castile.
You're suddenly worried. Was he a suitor?
You're not here because of my mother, are you?
Who's your mother?
Good sign.
Well, I was looking perhaps for a good place to write for my songs.
Well, Castile is the perfect place then.
Well, I heard you have fine seas and beaches.
That's true. What? Okay.
As the two of you walk away, the view is suddenly seen through what's like a glassy filter. And then we pull out at the spyglass. You've just observed the scene happening not too far from both your own. Your friend owns the Morning Star.
The morning star.
Okay. And your friend tap dancing, woman. Your friend Veronica Buonarroti, a Bodaci woman, who is the ship's master, has brought the Morning Star to the shores of Castile in hopes of resupply. Veronica practically is in charge of the ship, despite not actually being the captain. You have yet to meet the captain. Alright. Although you were you've known Veronica for quite some time in previous misadventures. You can make that up as you go along.
She's part of our mercenary band.
Maybe she used to be part of it in the past, because you have the mercenary family. So Gunther, welcome to the shores of Castile. They say they have the perfect beaches here. And palaces.
I don't know about beaches, but see what the delicacy are in terms of food, as well as I don't know. Anything outside Iceland, I really do not feel comfortable.
You're never comfortable with anything. You've always been so obsessed about your war-torn country that anything else that seems remotely happy, you immediately dismiss it as depressing.
It's the playground of locals. It has no place for mercenary fun.
This is Castile. It's the place of banks and thievery and unscrupulous government people.
Yes, there's the kind of war that I drive in war.
Would you prefer that we went to Montaigne? You know Montaigne is filled with all those wigs and powdered faces.
Of course not. I'll die of, I don't know what.
Well, we're here for a job,
Yes.
and we're waiting for the Boston St. George to return. You remember meeting St. George some time back? 7-foot tall foreigner, and I use the word foreigner because you do not believe he is from Thea.
Right, so he's really exotic.
Thea is
Deep
this,
continent.
right? It's not Europe.
Yes. Not
St. George is a 7-foot tall black man who speaks with a thick accent. Think, what's his name? The guy in the Green Man.
Yes.
Duncan something. The late
Duncan.
Yes, Michael Clark Duncan. Imagine that guy. But surprisingly, he's very gentle, very courteous, very cultured,
Very cultured.
and seems to know languages you've never heard of before. He seems to be off the ship right now to handle a business meeting. Veronica looks at you and tells you, if you consider staying with the Morning Star instead, you'll realize the opportunities to see the world increase 100-fold.
I do not doubt that. It's just that. It's this babysitting job that we have.
A job is a job as long as it pays.
I know.
And a paid job means you get to eat. So if you want to try the Castilian delicacies, just manage. Or, she points to the tavern not too far away from the port itself. You could just go there and find whatever's edible.
Maybe. Are you joining me?
She stares at you and shakes her head. I've seen you feasting on whatever plates that were left behind, and I don't think I'm ready for that. Deep down, I am still from Bodaci, which is not Italy.
Shit. I'll see what happens. So I'll walk away from the ship.
You head
I'll see
down.
you later.
As you're heading down from the ship, the master gunner, Charles St. Pierre, a good-looking man with pale skin and blackened fingers and hands because of handling cannons, looks at you and gives you a smile. Off to see the ladies?
Probably. I haven't had guests in a while.
Well, if you ever tire of them ladies, he gives you a wink.
Yeah.
You hear Veronica, enough, St. Pierre, leave him alone. Just testing if my cannons will fire somewhere. He heads off. Veronica looks at you and gives you that
Later.
Dorian.
Yeah. Later. What was the sorry?
St. Pierre.
Later, St. Peter. Later, Veronica.
Charles looks at you as you head down and turns to Veronica. They're like Iceland men. They're like wolves. Veronica looks at him. Clean your hand. He rolls his eyes and heads down. You're walking towards the port. You see a number of taverns available. You remember the myths and the stories of how sailors are superstitious. One of the main superstitions they have is that Mother Ocean is a sentient being. And that once you're at this ocean, once you're at the sea, you're at her mercy. So, prayers to other gods are not even welcome. Ports and taverns are where a lot of vices happen.
Right.
So they're close enough that the sea cannot see them, so to speak.
Oh, yeah. Away from the prying eyes of the sea. And there's truth to that. I've never been so helpless. I mean, if sailors feel so helpless out in the sea, what more than a mother?
Approaching, you're amused to see the mingling of cultures. You could hear people speaking in Iceland. You could hear people speaking in the sharp tones of Wadashi and the flowery, fluid language of Normandy. Mostly, though, people speak in Old Payan, which is the trading language and street slang. Approaching one of the taverns, a woman known as a Jenny, translation prostitute, the term is Jenny, stares at you and pans her breasts. Doesn't look healthy, except for her breasts, which are finely powdered. You looking for a good roll?
What time is it?
Your party was what?
It's usually like midday, 10 o'clock. I don't know, I don't have the ability to tell time.
Yeah, it's up to you. What time did your mother hold the party?
Usually
A luncheon? Or a dinner?
luncheon, usually.
Okay, it's a luncheon, so it's around noon.
Maybe tonight. I have to get myself properly intoxicated first.
You don't need to drink if you're just gonna go betting.
I have to, if I have to do.
Betting. With a T, with the dice. Roll the dice.
Oh, is that what you call it?
This is a gambling house. You think this is our Jenny house? Stares at you.
Is there anything else I should do? I thought I might have done.
Looks at you angrily. You think I'm on some sort of pole?
Is there any other way to put it?
That was the past.
Sorry.
She spits on the ground. We do betting here.
Okay.
Gambling.
Is that what we call it?
Gambling's illegal. Just betting.
Alright, so
Two guys walk by you, Castellan soldiers in the uniform.
I'll try your bet. And,
Come on in.
I'm sure you serve some Castellan drinks.
Castellan drinks. What? You're some sort of foreigner?
Sure, I look like one.
How's a foreigner supposed to look? I don't know.
I don't know as well. So,
Stepping in, you see a bunch of tables, people huddled on, there's cards, there's dice. She leads you in towards one table where there's a strange new contraption for you.
which is
It seems to be some sort of racetrack. You see wooden figures that look like horses.
horses,
Yeah.
play horses, cowboys,
And then you notice areas which match the horses' number. Games played in 5 rolls. Whoever gets the winning horse keeps the bet. Bets can move though once placed down. 5 rounds betting.
I'll try it.
A guy sits down at the nearby seat, looks at you and smiles. Think Jack Black with a really
Very
expensive looking
Oh,
vest.
expensive.
And clean teeth, actually. Looks at you, smiles. You playing?
Yeah.
I'd
I'd like to try it. It's something I haven't seen before.
Einar. Which is his handle. It's been Einar.
Gunther.
Gunther. Eisen name.
Yes, I
Part of the Crusades.
Yes, very much.
I heard of people who were part of the Crusades. Most of them didn't have money.
Didn't that? Didn't that?
No.
Oh, yeah, well. I guess I do. I guess I sort of earned.
Let's play them. Woman smiles. Choose your horses, bet well. And we'll start with the first roll. She rolls the dice, and with the dice that comes out, she starts moving the horses.
Oh, so it's manual. They move it manually.
And you realize, so the dice roll determines which horses move, and after 5 rounds, which horse is move. You look at Einar, and Einar just gets his bag, gets a bunch of coins, and starts betting on all 5 horses.
Wow. So, well, equally.
You're looking, yep. They're all equal stacks of 2 coins each.
So the house is. Or what are you doing now?
Making sure I don't lose.
So well, you will lose 4 out of
Well, it's 6-sided die, and there's 5 horses.
Oh, okay. That's 1 out of 6. I mean, you only win 1 out of 6.
I still win.
Yeah, well, to put it that way.
You're right. He starts adding a coin more to each one.
That's weird.
You're looking at this guy, you don't think he understands.
I shake my head. And yeah, technically you won't lose.
Woman looks at you. You betting?
Yeah, give me 2 and 3.
They start putting. Einar looks at you. I want to do that too. So he bets additional.
I think that like he was crazy.
He looks at you and gives you a. Well, yeah, we're doing this, right?
Sure. Okay. So let's see.
You two. You've been walking. You've been showing him around, and he's honestly, genuinely appreciating Castile in a way that you find refreshing, because you're just so tired of it, especially in the whole quarantine business thing. You realize that you've been walking, probably coincidence, perhaps fate, and you've reached the port area. You see the many taverns, and you're surprised they're open even this early in the afternoon.
Yeah, usually afternoon.
You hear the music and the laughter.
So this seems like for midnight. We usually have we start our night at 6 after our farmers, after our laborers, hard day work.
No. I mean, I don't think I haven't been into one of these taverns in a while.
What? Really?
Yeah, I mean, I usually just pound at the beach, get myself out, clear my head.
Well, tavern is a good place for a good story.
Are you in need of assistance, milady? You see 2 men in uniform show up, looking at him sternly.
Oh, no.
Has this man accosted you?
No, answered.
Problem already.
we are okay. There's nothing to worry.
My milady, isn't today your...
No.
Oh!
No.
Oh!
No.
Argal back there.
It is an honor, sir. It is an honor.
Please, don't you have any business?
We would be more than honored to escort you around, milady. And your chosen.
No. Yeah, don't you have other business to attend to?
Ah, yes, of course. We have other business to attend to.
We just up. Just a hearty blessing to them.
You do what? You use what?
I bring up a hefty amount of coins. Here, for your troubles, and please do not tell this to anyone, okay?
Of course. We won't tell anyone you are here with your man. Material. You're starting to think she's more than she's appeared to be, given all this. You're starting to notice as you're walking, there's some people who see her.
Perhaps you should go to a tailor first.
Either way.
What?
Walking to a nearby tailor.
Tailor, yes. To find something more common
step in. There's a woman right now who's standing. I don't think it's the right dress. And you see a man with the words are missing. Tape. Yeah, tape measure. There you go. See? Rat. Guys checking the length. The other guy is staring at the dress. I think it looks wonderful. I don't think you're even supposed to be here. Aren't you not supposed to see me wearing this before the marriage? The guy with the tape measure looks up, pushes the two off the stand. But I'm not done. Looks at you and gives a bow. Greetings. Lady, it is more than an honor to have you here in our humble place. Does the Lady Fontanelle desire anything in particular?
Just some simple clothes. You know, something for a little more fresh. Aside from the usual red. Simple outfit, you know, a little more common.
I do not understand.
I do not wish to be grabbing some attention.
The lady wishes to wear servant's clothes?
Yes. Yes, I will.
He seems very bothered. He hurries off to check what he has, and while he's looking, your eye spot this pair of pants that you find very interesting. Just to match your outfit. While she seems to be shopping for clothes, you hear more laughter. The sounds are, you know, so much livelier in Castile. You're a bit surprised, despite looking so poor. Because Castile is the closest thing to Manila.
Yes.
Extreme poverty, but at the same time, and lots of happy people, despite the misery and poverty.
So much optimism.
Which is, you know, worlds away from Avalon and even the Highland Marches, which is almost romantic, mysterious, with fog rolling in the hills and very few people until you're at, you know, major areas.
Just don't tell the Inquisition about it. They don't like that.
Of course, there's also the fact that there's none of the sheep, which you found to be very different. In Avalon, the she literally coexist among Feyans, and the she are the fearful.
Oh.
So you might bump into some beggar, ignore the beggar, and the beggar turns out to be a she prince, and you dare not give me a coin, and curse you to a rabbit. So Avalonians by nature are always nice to everyone. Highlanders a little less than that, because Highlanders are more willing to fight for what is right. But the presence of the she it's a fact. You know that there are supernatural creatures that look like humans walking around. And you're finding it such a relief not to have that problem.
I just smile and nod to everyone who passes by.
You see the people outside, you nod and smile. Many of them look at you, and as you nod and smile, they hurry away worriedly. She comes back, and she's wearing these black pants. Guy comes back wearing this still large layered dress. That's simpler than your current gown, but Lady Fontanelle, are you really wearing that?
Is that a problem, sir?
It is meant for men.
Please. Have the day off and let me just handle something more appropriate that would fit the pants. Have the day off.
Stares at the money you've offered.
It's a lot of money.
Turns and looks at you.
Don't see anything.
Goes to the door and turns the sign. In the game, everyone is wealth 0, which basically means you have enough to live by on a day-to-day basis. So a wealth of 1 is already awful. Your character's rich, you have wealth of 3, that's why you're trying.
Yes, I bought the guards, I bought the store.
As the guy starts working, do you wait, just wait, or do you decide to step out and look around?
I'll step out. I'll wait. Play with my flute.
Pull out your flute, start playing music. You find yourself staring at him and you're liking the song he's playing. You notice your backgrounds and arcana mention instances where you can get hero points. You may want to find ways to trigger them because they're only once per game, but they're a way to get hero points. The only other way to get hero points is when you roll dice. So you create sets of 10s, right? For example, that's 3 sets of 10s. You may choose not to use all your dice. For example, this is a set of 10 and this is not forming a 10. I can then buy these dice for a hero point each.
Okay.
So that's a way for you to earn hero points, by taking risks and not using all your dice. The last way is to simply state, I tried to do this, but I failed.
Like before the roll is made?
You don't roll anymore. You just state you failed.
I mean the buying of the dice.
The dying the dice is after the roll.
After the roll, yeah.
So like you might say, I tried to convince the guard to let me in, but I failed. And I'll just give you a hero point.
I see. So we try to drive forward to get the hero point.
Yeah.
Based on our
And it's basically, you put those moments wherein things don't go well for you, so later they do.
Oh, okay. Good. Very good.
Right? So it's a
Okay,
very
yeah,
interesting
yeah,
economy.
All right, great. Yeah.
As you're playing your flute, round 3, there are now these type of stacks of coins where Einar has been betting. And you're just staring at it. Because he keeps, round 2, green horse moves, puts coins on green horse. Round 3, orange horse moves, puts coins on orange horse.
Okay. Einar, I think you're being way slow.
You think so?
Yes.
I think I'm winning.
No, you're winning, but you're losing more at the same time.
But I put coins on every horse that moves.
Not how it works.
The woman looks at you, well, that can be the way it works.
No. See, Einar, I thought you were betting, or you knew how gambling works.
You put money and you win.
No, you win 1 out of 6. I tell them that.
But that's a sad way to win.
There. You're laughing.
It's okay. It's too early for us to be gaming, so we're all feeling we're not ready mentally. Diba? There's that zone that we enter. We're warming up to that zone. Anyway.
You're just scamming for gold, for your coin.
Scamming like cheating?
Yes.
You're cheating me? Looks at the woman. No. I just roll the dice and move the horses. The dice is
But you have
not.
to ask them to bet on one horse, not everyone.
We don't make the rules on where the person chooses to bet.
You should at least prevent him from doing it. That's
Why?
only fair.
It's only fair that I let him bet the way he wants.
That's only fair for you.
She smiles. Einar looks at you. So you're saying I'm losing all this money?
Yes.
Oh. Well, I guess it's a good thing I have more. You're staring at Einar. He is a very strange creature. And then you realize, as he's, waiting anxiously for the next round, no jewelry. His clothes, save for the vest. Worn shirt, scuffed shoes. So he's not an opulent person either.
Yeah.
But he's carrying a lot of cash. With the last few rounds coming up, are you betting in hopes of making money? Or
if I bet, I'm not going to eat the drink of it.
well,
lose it.
Do you just declare you lose this bet, or do you want to take the risk and roll and see if you win? Actually, that would mean also you win, because the moment you have a race, you win.
What I'll do is, actually I'll bet and I'll lose it.
Okay, so I'll give you that because you lose the bet.
Oh.
Yeah, but I have this, and he's lost. You see the woman getting all the other coins he lost.
Otherwise,
See, I won this.
Einar, tell you what. I've run out of coins.
And you're my friend, so you were helping me, so it gives you half of it. Which is practically double what you've lost.
I look around. I don't. You know what? Well, talking. Let's step away.
I like that game.
Do you
I didn't have to like think so much.
drink?
Drinking is good.
What's that?
There's a good place across the street. They kept giving me drinks. You walk with him.
Yeah.
And as you head out, are you sure you're not playing anymore? No, I already won.
We'll play that.
The woman looks at you, doesn't like you anymore because you pulled away
Yeah, I like that.
a source of money.
It's kind of abuse. They're kind of abusing it as far as I'm concerned.
Outside, you're back in the street, you're making your way, you catch sight of them as they're walking. And the reason you catch sight of them is the man crossing the street you've seen before. He's a mercenary.
Oh, I thought it was
And you've seen him at Avalon. And you've been very impressed with his skills with the sword and with not using the sword. Intimidating. Don't make me draw this!
I'll stop playing the flute, steps out of the shop and greets him.
You're a bit surprised, the music's gone. Looking, you see the door crossing the street.
Greets him and hi. Hello there, sir. I think I saw you in Avalon.
Can I help you?
I'm from Avalon, so
That's good to hear.
and it's nice to see a familiar place.
Einar looks at him, looks at you. Oh, we'll have friends while drinking? That's nice. I usually drink alone.
Like okay, familiar. And because you're not, that's funny because you're not familiar.
Well, how should I put it? Once I saw you in Avalon, in one of the taverns, someone...
Argyle McDermott, right?
Yes.
You normally play the pipes in those taverns back in the Highland Marshes.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I remember him.
Okay, so you know each other.
Well, no,
But he knows me.
I've met him before. I mean, I know I've met you before. Because we hired you to watch over that ship when we were traveling across the Crescent Sea. Einar. And you're looking at him, he's met you?
Really?
Yeah, your hair was still black and you...
That's right. Alright, there's a lot of people.
I was 12 then. You're looking at him now. You remember this old job, this annoying family that was very wealthy, and this kid that was staring at you the whole time. Hello. Yes, please, Crocodile. Yes, please. Thank you.
Well, it seems that we have a connection here through this guy.
We have a common
friend.
Yeah, common so to speak. Argyle, or is it Sir McDermott?
Just call me Argyle. That's fine.
Is there anything I can help you with?
Yeah, he's a mercenary. You can hire him to do stuff. He's really good at the sword.
And without using the sword, as I remember.
I think you were good at weapons too. I remember there was that bar fight and you started beating up those people with your flute.
So I think in Argyle, I think that it's all this
Well, I have a...
Yeah, we were going to go
friend.
drink. We won money.
You're open to join us.
Of course,
We're going to...
I'll invite a lady. But she's a respectable lady.
Okay.
That's I know it from the people around.
Respectable lady.
Yeah. I think they call her Madame Fontanille.
Ah, yes, Catarina de Fontanelle. She's looking for a husband.
Yes.
Very wealthy family. 7 daughters, if I remember. She's the only one still unmarried.
But then again, I'm not one to say no to any business propositions. and opportunities, right?
Well, marriage is a little bit tying up. You tie me up into a certain situation that I don't like. So I'm just
You're getting married too?
No, I don't.
Let's have a good one.
Should we be getting married?
For you, I think you should.
Maybe in the future.
Yeah, maybe I should get married. That sounds like something everyone's doing.
It's something that has passed me by. It's very busy with work.
Well, we'll be at that tavern.
Okay.
I'll try to invite her if
Feel free to join us, Argo, and I'm sure Reynard can compensate.
You're walking towards the tavern, he looks at you. So nice, we bump into an old friend of yours. Not to be leave. I hope we'll have more people while drinking. Earlier, when I was drinking, it was only that one man.
It's a weird day. I'm sure it's supposed to be interesting.
I know, that man was telling me that I have to go on this boat, but I didn't want to yet, so I stepped out and decided to look for something to
Which
do.
man are you?
A black guy, really tall, said something about a job that I'm supposed to be doing, but I didn't feel like it, so.
Let's have it.
As you step into the tavern, you see St. George, looks up and sees you, looks surprised, and looks at the man you're with,
St. George,
points at the man.
I've brought him here for you.
Einar smiles. You know him too?
Yeah,
You know everyone.
of course. I get around.
St. George looks at you, shakes his head. Very strange day. Hello, welcome.
I can.
You please leave your shoes and silence. Very strange day.
Hey guys.
I'm surprised that you have found him.
Well, yes, I found him in a little bit of in a little trouble. I'll have to get it away from him.
I was telling him that as soon as the morning star can leave, the best we can get on with the job. But then he suddenly just left. I wasn't sure if I should wait or leave.
I guess we have to wait.
I noticed that you that morning just kept talking about work.
Who, me? Oh, him?
Went to St. George.
Well, there's nothing St. George has to talk about except for work.
He turns to St. George and tells St. George, so I'm with my friend now. Can he go in the ship too? St. George looks at you. Yes.
I am.
And his friends? Can his friends go with the ship too? St. George looks at you, but what's going on?
We had acquaintances. I ran across.
I see. The job was to bring you across the widow's veil and make our way towards the Crescent Empire.
No, we're just passing by here in the summer. And we'll be meeting some acquaintances and conversation.
St. George looks at you. One moment. Motions you to walk with him to the corner. Big guy.
Bigger than me, as small as I am.
You knew the client?
But it turns out that
He's been very difficult to talk to. But he's calling you his friend.
apparently I haven't worked for 12 years. Something like that.
Then that's good.
I barely remember it. But I did get paid by his parents.
Well, today is your lucky day then. Commander, I am promoting you from able seaman to personal bodyguard.
That's nice. Yeah, that was
Points to the man. That points to the man and goes, well, that's assuming he's willing to pay. He's still trying to undercut what he's supposed to pay.
I thought you meant for yourself. Because you mean
Pointing to Einar. Win him over. We need this job.
sure.
And his friends, whoever they are.
I'll do what I'll do what I have to. I know it.
You see Einar in there.
So I know about that.
Pulls out a coin. Sees the person there who's drinking alone. Tosses the coin to him.
Are you into steel walk?
Einar looks at you. Yeah, boring. Don't like it.
That's great.
It's too dusty,
Oh.
too warm. People keep talking in that language. They don't like Castilian. Still, it sounds like you're cursing the whole time.
Really? But anyway, we'll have an opportunity to say goodbye.
Oh, we can leave Castile? Yeah, I'd love that. Can we go now?
Anyway, we'll just have that.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm not sure what to drink though.
Oh, have a drink. The best drink that you have. I'll tell you that.
The barkeep nods and prepare something. St. George looks at you, leans close. I've learned he does not drink. And then you see a table across from the table you're on with all these glasses. And he does not drink.
So, I feel Einar. Be my guest.
We cut to, we get back to this, and you see her now in her full outfit. And the guy, of course, this was supposed to be a wedding present. Hands you the boots.
Wow, nice.
You picked one well.
Yeah, right?
It's a full complement of outfit.
Yeah, look at that. Okay. Thank you. So, keep the change. Don't tell anyone ever, alright?
Is the lady leaving?
Let's just say, we're going on a trip.
The lady used to speak about a lot of dreams of finding her way away from Christine.
True. That is true.
Has the day finally come?
I hope so.
With your husband? Pick him up, he steps in.
We shall speak of that another time.
You see him fully dressed? See her fully dressed?
Wow, that looks nice.
Leaving the house.
That looks nice for you. Well, I bumped into a friend and they are having a drink. Would you like to come?
Here. As the two of you leave, the guy watches you leave the door. Smile. So if you make your way to the tavern, but we'll just cut real quick. Are you lost with the system, or do you sort of grasp how it works?
A bit lost.
So the only things to know right now that are important is once I ask you to roll dice, that's called handling a risk. You basically roll the dice and create sets of tens. So like this is 2 and 8. This doesn't reach. Yeah, it's 9. This doesn't reach. So that's 1 set, 2 sets. So that's what we call raises. You have 2 raises. A raise basically is spent to already do something. So in this scene, you might spend 1 raise to leap from a burning balcony, to grab hold of the banderitas and go down the street safely from the 3rd story. With your 2nd raise, you might then dodge the bullet fire and leap onto a nearby house. So raises are that powerful. So in 7C, you rarely fail. You have a single hero point right now. Your arcana and your quirks are the backgrounds, state some other ways you can get hero points. But the most basic way to get hero points is when you roll, you create sets. So like this one is 4, 8, 10, and then this die wasn't used. The dice that are not used, I can purchase for hero points. Hero points, you can spend them. 1 hero point is 1 extra die to roll. But if you spend them to help other players, so for example, if Lawrence is making a roll and you say, I'm helping Lawrence, and I'm yelling, you can do it, that's how you're helping. That gives the person 3 dice. So they're very powerful to help each other. And then wounds is the circle and stars. This game is weird because at the end of the scene, you actually lose all the wounds you got, except for the star wounds. Star wounds are dramatic wounds. And if you look at the corresponding letter association, the first dramatic wound gives you an extra die for all your future rolls. The second dramatic wound makes the villain have a bonus against you. The third extra dice make all your dice explode when they roll 10. And the fourth dramatic wound makes you helpless when it's reached. So in this game, you actually shouldn't try to avoid getting all the wounds, because there are times you want to get wounds for the bonuses. It's sort of like in Die Hard, where he walks on broken glass and he becomes more awesome after. But that's pretty much it, and we'll play through it real quick. Recap, we started the scene, battle on the ship against a man who's all gray and undead minions. flashback to how it led there. She's escaping a party, a gala, where her mother's trying to pair her off to her husband. Meets this guy who beat up a mugging, and they decide to show her around. She wanted to show him around because he's from Avalon and hasn't been in Castile long. They end up at the port area where he has a very strange new friend who bets on all possible slots to say in the end, I still won, even if he lost 5 out of 6 times. For him, yeah, but I won.
Okay.
And then he's like, but you lose all the money. Good thing I have more. And he turns out to be the client that they're here to deliver somehow on the ship.
Oh, okay.
I will have you choose now between 2 choices. First, you're part of the ship. So you're part of the crew of the Morning Star. That will be easier to connect with. Not having sailing simply means you're the guy on the ship who's always on the deck puking overboard. Because you're the guy who's... for some reason you have it assimilated yet. It could also mean you're the new guy. Alternately, it could also be the Firefly approach, which is you're another person who has chartered a ride on the ship for some other reason, but you'll be part of the same ship.
On another business.
Yeah, but you know, to lock in things faster.
I'll go with part of the two. You guys.
What are the new guys?
I don't mind.
So we'll cut back to the ship, the Morning Star, and the Morning Star, the leader, known as the shipmaster, is Veronica Buonarroti. She's Bodaci, and Bodaci's not Italy. She used to be a aristocrat woman as well, but she's dreamed of having a life in the sea. Her master mate, which is the man in charge of the people, is Griffin, followed by the quartermaster, who is Catarina Lumiere from Castile. The bosun, who is the guy handling all the harder workers. Kumbaga, earlier the mates and the quartermaster, you can think of them as the admin. The bosun naman is like the head of security, and then you have the staff. The bosun is St. George, a 7-foot-tall black man, obviously not from Thea, who's been one of your closest friends. There have been instances he has saved your life. And in one instance, you fell overboard during a storm. The basic rule in sailing is if you fall overboard, better 1 than 2. Better 1 man is lost than 2 lives are risked. He still dove in, found you, swam back, and then brought you up by climbing the side of the boat. Because Veronica refused to throw it. She felt it would anger Mother Ocean to do so, but he did not care. He still saved her life. And there's the master gunner, Charles St. Pierre, a man from Montagna, Frenchman, who doesn't seem to care who he bans in both senses of the word. Currently on the ship, you're scrubbing the deck and trying to clear the barnacles. Catarina Lumiere is there with you, the quartermaster, but she's scrubbing the deck as well. And as she looks at you, she shakes her head. I hate being here in Castile. I hate coming home. I hate being home.
Did you used to live here before?
Looks at you. I ran away when I was 7.
Your parents still alive.
I haven't checked. I'd rather not check.
Why?
I was the only daughter. I had 6 brothers, and they always picked them.
Oh. So you're like the least favorite child?
No, I was the favorite. Even on their birthdays, I'd get presents. Happy birthday, Santa, for you!
That's why they picked on.
Tell your daughter, tell your sister that she can open her gift.
Maybe that's just like sibling rivalry when you were like younger.
You don't know rivalry the way Castilians.
Oh,
yes.
How's the
the montage of images. They tie her to a tree, they throw ants on her while she's sleeping, they replace her water with oil, and she looks at you. Rather not finish.
Alright, I will try it, yes. You had your reasons.
Griffin comes up to you too. Missing home, Katarina? No, Griffin. Well, we're leaving port soon as St. George returns with our client. It's supposed to be a single journey all the way to the Crescent Empire. We're delivering the man to Iskander. You've never been to the Crescent Empire. The Crescent Empire is way, way far. This is the Widow's Sea.
Where are we?
And you are currently here in Castile. So you would actually have to go all the way there.
To the Levant.
Should be at most a few months. Less if we're lucky and the winds are strong. But we won't get anywhere if barnacles are eating our ship. Katarina looks at you. Griffin, you realize we'd get rid of the barnacles more if you help us as well. Yeah, I'm the mastermaid. Walks away. Katarina looks at you. I used to be the mastermaid.
Really? What happened?
Veronica and I had a falling out. Continue scrubbing. And I guess we couldn't stand working together.
They're still here.
This is my ship as much as it is friends. I have every right to be here. I earned my place here.
Fair enough.
You have yet to earn yours.
I'm guessing in due time.
Do you know what everyone else calls you?
What?
La Trompo. You know what that means? You know how you bounce around the deck when the waters get rough? Help! You're the top.
Well, I'm not used to traveling by the sea.
Well, until you're certain, use the lifeline. She points to the rope that's tied around your waist. I know it's demeaning, it makes you feel like a dog, but it's better than falling overboard again.
True. You have a point.
Are they back yet? Looking up, you see Veronica. She looks at you guys since you're the ones visible on there.
I continue scrubbing in this.
St. George stepped out. So did Gunther. Have any of them returned?
Let's go.
I'm feeling strong trade winds. The soonest we can leave, the better. We might be able to shave off a full week. Katarina looks at you, nudges you with her elbow. It's a volunteer.
Volunteer for what?
Who rolls her eyes? Veronica? Yes? Le Trompo was suggesting that he could look for them. She looks at you. You think you can do that job?
I could, but doesn't the bargain need scrubbing for it to be moved as quickly as possible?
Katarina looks at you. That's true. Maybe Griffin can help. She smiles. Veronica, I'll tell Griffin. Go see if you can find him. Griffin? Katarina looks at you. Shakes your hand.
He's gonna bite me back. But sure, whatever. Look for the others.
You head down the port. You see the many taverns and you hear the laughter and all. You're not sure which one to go to. One of them catches your eye. It's a woman leaning by the door. You think it's a Jenny. Very nicely powdered breasts. The rest of her not so nice. Well, look what the cat dragged in. Foreigner? You don't look here from around here.
In a way, yeah, I just came by the ship.
You have a ship? Sounds like you're a wealthy man.
No, I
Why
work.
don't you come on inside for some berries?
No, I work on a ship.
You work on the ship.
Yes.
Well, an employed man is still better than a wealthy man sometimes. I got money.
First. Wait, I shouldn't I do have a bit of money?
Enough to go day to day. You don't really have any extra wealth.
I'm actually looking for some people. shipmates of mine.
Maybe your friends are inside. Why don't you come on in and let's see what your luck is like? Oh, come on. Why hesitate? I'm sure you could win a little better too. You look like you're the lucky sort. Where are you from anyway?
Where was this movie? Isaac.
What? That war-torn place? Again? Go somewhere else.
I guess you're not interested in that.
Do you have money?
A bit.
I don't do with a bit. Go.
Then I guess I have to.
You walk away.
Not because you don't have money.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault. And as you're wandering around looking for where to go, you two have stepped in and you see them laughing. And drinks are being tossed. And Einar sees you. Hey! My friends are back! So George looks at you. They're his friends?
Apparently, yes. They've,
So nice to see you! Looks at Yuli. And you? Thank you. Well, Manly's good. Manly's good. Okay, come on in. Drinks for them, please. People start laughing. Things are going well. As you get your drinks, Einar is now taking over the conversation without thinking it. And you're all in some level dumbfounded and just staring. As this is Katarina Fontanelli. Now, Katarina Fontanelli starts talking about you, about how your sisters were all wed to wealthy people in different nations, how your family has grown more and more influential because of the weddings, and how you are yet to be married. This is the 57th gala in attempts to finding a husband for you. And you're like just staring at him because, who is this guy? I just met him today.
told everything about it.
And then he shifts to you, and the same thing, talking about how you've appeared in all these taverns, how you traversed from the Highland Marches to, shit, I forgot what Ireland is called in this game. Yeah. Inishmore. Yeah. And how you went to Inishmore, played there as well, then eventually went to Avalon, and there you found yourself receiving a calling and a dream, and a woman in the lake asked you to serve her, and you've changed, and since then you've decided to go to other lands, and how Castile is the first land you've arrived ever since you've left Avalon. And again, you're like, how does this guy know? And this is my really close friend. And starts talking to you about how in the war you were part of the Crusades, and you were very disillusioned when you discovered that many of the Crusades were directed at the Crescent Empire, claiming it was a land of demons, only to come home and find monsters overrunning Iceland. You've never joined the monster hunters, because deep down you feel the monsters are just a symptom and not the cure. There are humans, there are chaos behind the monsters, and that's what you seek to find. And to your surprise, he actually mentions that. Not to that extent, but mentions he never chose to be a monster hunter. He thinks there are bigger monsters out there. And finally, this is St. George. I just met him today.
And
St. George looks at you all. So I see you're a group. You'll all be going with us to the Crescent Island.
Better than staying here, that's for sure.
wait, good leg, are you supposed to be? Or are you agreeable to that?
Einar looks at you. Yeah, we're all going.
I heard they play great music
And I don't travel without my friends, right? Friends to do that.
You said a lot, a great deal. What'd you do?
I give you a
bunch of money.
Just not it.
And I said, no need to just go.
And now you're a bit surprised. She's not paying you to let her go?
Yes. Go, let's go.
People of Castile are strange.
Maybe I should stay here.
Einar looks at you all and says, well, I guess it's settled.
I look at St. George and look at this nod of approval.
It's settled. So we can go. Einar looks at you. Yeah. Now that I have my friends with me,
This is a strange afternoon, but not unwelcome.
what can you found this friend?
A chance on them.
You found his friends, right?
At this point,
I don't know.
we have to have to have a word with that. Maybe later. Sometime.
You all stand, and as you make your way out, Einar turns to everyone. This is the most wonderful day of my life. He grabs his hand, punches it into the bag. Free drinks for everyone! He throws the
I'll try to
coins.
stop it, but too late.
The coins fly and people are all staring. And you hear suddenly one bar explode in sound of screaming and joy and adulation. And then the door slams open and a group of people come out. Among them are your shipmates, Gunther and Cynthia. Both of whom have the I don't know what the fuck is going on face.
Yeah.
I walk to them and call out to them. Hey guys, the shipmaster is actually looking for you guys.
Ah, yes, sir. We'll gladly be back.
Joseph! You see the
Return.
man call out. That's your name, right?
Yes.
I'm Einar Isden. We've just met today.
Yeah, we just met.
I hope we will be good friends.
Now? No way.
Jack Blacker.
Yeah. Stares at you. He mentioned it.
Just now.
Okay.
He's strange. Einar keeps walking.
So, Einar, can you tell us more about Joseph?
How would I know anything about him? I just met him.
How do you know a lot of things about him?
I don't forget.
Interesting.
It's always been my curse ever since I was young. I never forget names, faces, places I've been. Then he stops. Turns to you. Klinka?
Yeah.
Joseph Klinka.
Yes.
Oh, you were that man who was digging a grave and gathering eyeballs. He walks away. What? You both heard it. How do you?
The moment you realize it.
I think like I do it side step. Let's continue, shall we?
We move the story forward to you're already on the boat.
Okay,
Oh,
yes.
And I just explained, that's for a job.
You both learned that the reason behind the eyeballs was you share your
Yes.
he's what they call in Iceland a umgetumiego, or in more common Old Tayan, a monster hunter. And part of his practice is being what they call the hex. He practices necromancy. You have always found those type of people disturbing until you've met Joseph.
Yes.
And ever since you've met Joseph, okay, maybe it's not so bad.
There's a personality behind the
Yeah.
day.
Waters are steady. Everyone is getting accustomed to the movement. Veronica is grateful to have you all on board despite the initial. So, what happened to one client? Why are they free now?
More people, more hands to help out.
George mentioned you found their friends.
It's something that I can't explain.
You have.
Not so far. Actually, is there anything that we can do about it?
He's a wealthy client who's paying us thrice the normal fee to bring him to his candle. Yes. We won't stay in the waters long.
Or they ask why.
I think that would be rude. It's not like you're his friend, are you?
You can ask him.
On the deck, let's start with you. Choose one of the other pair. What are you both doing this afternoon on the deck of the ship?
I'm sure the scrubbing would have been done by the time we return, right?
Yes.
I'd probably be just going around like checking things like if they're all okay and like if they're like not like tied. You
Normal routine stuff. And you?
Yeah, I'm playing with my flute recently with a
Okay. You're finding the music very interesting. It's very different from anything you've heard before. So you've actually been working near the area just so you can listen. Joining the two of you, Griffin, with his wooden mug and another wooden mug. Master Argal, some rum, which should help settle your stomach if you're finding the waves too rough.
Thank you for this.
Joseph doesn't drink, so he doesn't get anywhere.
Sure. Whatever you say.
So have you been on a ship before, Master Argal?
Yes, of course. I've used a ship for part of my family.
Do you know of sailing, or do you normally just ride as a passenger?
Well, a little bit. I know a little bit of sailing. Well, my family are fisher folks.
Highland Marshes.
Yes.
I recognize the accent. I used to hail from Avalon, but I left when I was 15, stolen by pirates. It was the Morning Star that saved my life. They defeated the pirate ship, liberated me, and I've sent to serve the ship since then.
That's a good story. Well, I've heard of a lot of pirates in the...
Joseph, do you think you can get us more rum?
I'm still checking all around. Double checking the place, making sure everything's in order.
Well, maybe I should just say, get us more rum?
Fine. I take the mug, then I
Head off.
head off.
So that's Joseph. He's our new seaman. He's the last to ever show he's good enough on the ship.
Well, he will learn. Assuming enough, he will learn. He will learn this place.
It's very weird. There's a collection of eyeballs in one of his pouches.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I've heard of it.
So you're friends with our clan?
Yes, of course.
The Master Isbin?
Yes.
You've known him long.
Yeah, I've known him for long.
I've heard rumors about him, that he actually owns his own shipping line. But he never rides it.
Well, sailors, or like I say, businessmen with sailing business, will always be superstitious.
Well, it's only superstition until you realize it actually happens. For example, you know how for most of you, if there's a red dawn, you think it's a romantic sunrise. For us sailors, we know that means there's a storm coming. Red dawn is a bad omen.
Red Star,
So, do you think you will chance upon him running off?
I hope not. Although Red Dawn is the least of our worries if we're really heading for the Crescent Empire.
Why? Are there any more problems?
They've never been nice to fail.
And these are...
The Crescent Empire? Well, they actually believe in a different god.
I've heard of it.
And they see us as invaders in very many ways. What's taking that man so long? You've gone down below deck, you've gone to the chef. The chef is right now preparing dishes and he's complaining right now to himself. It's supposed to be one guest and now there are three. How am I supposed to prepare the food if there's more? Looks at you. Oh, you. What do you need, Master Joseph?
Everyone was actually asking for more.
Points to the barrel.
I go to it and I get more rum.
So, they finally treating you better upstairs?
Not really.
You know they'll always treat you as a child until you prove you're not a child. Which means you just have to wait and grow up.
Well, there might be other opportunities out there for me to prove
myself.
We flash forward to the present time. Choose a part of the ship. Remember, this is all flashback.
I'd probably be... Wait, is this like during on the travel?
Choose a part of the ship.
Yeah, I'll be up on top.
You're on the crow's nest.
Yeah.
You are standing at the top of the mast as you can see the battle raging all around. The ship is right now parallel to a gray ship. And on the gray ship, all these figures, people who are all gray, in clothing, skin, eyes, are right now fighting your fellow crew members. In your mind, you feel the fear, but you also feel the sense of duty, the need to prove yourself. Especially since you're Iceland and the monster hunter.
Given my background as a monster hunter, would I recognize that these are undead?
Absolutely.
Oh,
And the main reason you're up here in the crow's nest is up to you. Whether it's strategy or flight, it's up to you. But I will mention this. You look down and you see the leader of the gray ship. A man, dressed in the admiral type of clothing, but make it all gray. And the man right now has one hand that's an exposed bone. And it's distorted to the point that it looks like a bone. He is staring down Katarina, who's right now aiming a pistol at him with a sword in the other hand. And the man is just laughing because he has just punctured his own arm and black blood is oozing out like water.
He punctured his own arm?
Yes. You realize he must have cast some sort of ritual.
Let me get down to that.
You see the ropes? Or, you see the mast, but that damages the mast.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna tie a rope to myself and jump down.
You start tying the rope. And as you're tying the rope, you notice the black oil spreading on the deck. Spreading, and then dripping down the side of the boat.
I don't think that's a good sign.
And from your vantage point, you see a dark shadow in the water, beginning to stir.
I shouted out as a warning to my... I'm assuming my other crewmates are in battle right now.
Yeah, but what do you yell out as a warning?
I yell out large black thing in the water. Large black thing in the water.
And as you yell out, we cut back to the past. You're back there with the mumps. Did you spit on it?
Yeah.
Large
black thing.
And as he looks at it, here, you can have it.
What?
Drink with us. And then he pulls out a flask.
But you don't have your own drink.
No. Pulls the flask open, pulls it out. Toast. To their journey and to your eventual growth.
Thank you.
Clink. You see the black thing in the water. You're staring at him as he takes a swag and you drink. So, this should be fun. We'll see you all later for below deck, for dinner. I'm sure you are anxious to meet the captain. He heads off, and the two of you stare at each other for a moment, then you see him throwing it over to the...
So you spit on that on this rock, right?
Maybe.
You have a good drum here.
There's plenty more down there.
And with that line, we flash you back forward. Where are you on the ship?
I think I'm on this rather.
You're there by the helm. And as you're there by the helm, his words are coming back to you. There's many more down below. You're looking around and you were wondering earlier what you could use if you wanted to start burning the other ship. And then the words came to you. There's more rum down below. As you glance to the side, you see Griffin leaning against the wheel, blood gushing out from a side one. He looks at you and tells you, I've got the wheel. Go do whatever you have to do.
Then I'll jump from that one.
It's a raced area. As you rush forward and leap, you see two of the gray men coming up in front of you to stop you. As you land in front of them, one of them prepares to strike at you. What's your approach?
I'll take out my loot and I'll use it as a sword. Parang yung sword.
Bashing weapon.
Bashing weapon.
So, weaponry and finesse or brawn?
I think it's broad.
Okay, first time to use the two abilities, so you have to extra dice. You have extra dice then, so it's okay.
Four. Then I'll use it as a hero point.
That also gives you danger points. With your first, you have how many races in total?
I have four.
If you spend all, you can defeat both.
I'll spend all.
All.
I'll spend all.
Describe how you attack the two gray swordsmen with your foot.
As the first one attacks me, I'll use my foot to parry the hand, and then I'll bash the head of it.
It explodes into powder and dust.
And then I'll kick into one of the,
The second one flies overboard.
and then rush towards
Below the neck. As you continue running, the camera pans back to you. This is the black room. Surrender the ship, dear lady, and I promise you and your crew a painless transition into serving my family.
Katarina de Fontano never serves any man, especially none of your stature. Names and fighters.
Roll your approach. I presume that's aim and finesse.
I can use it.
For weaving the narrative into learning the system.
Hey,
Did you add the extra 2 dice
Yeah.
for first time and use for first? Okay.
I have
One extra.
two.
How many races?
Three.
Are you spending the remaining? Kasi you have one to hit him. Are you spending the other one for damage na?
Yes.
Okay. So that's one that.
So it's not a semi. So
One-
one shot.
Not enough time to reload.
As the shot connects, describe where you shot it.
Kind of there.
You see the black spray of ink as you give him a headshot. He staggers backwards, nearly falling. But then his hand frantically stops the fall with his cane, which is leaning on it. You're staring in horror as he starts to right himself up. The black ooze that continues to pour over his face doesn't stop trailing, but he does not fall. And as he straightens fully and looks at you, he smiles and says, "My turn." There's explosion in the water as tendrils begin to rise out of the water. You are where on the ship?
It's probably near the where the one controlling the rope, the helm. I'll be there as well.
So you're near where he was.
Yeah, I'll be there.
As you see him rush off, and you see Griffin leaning against the wheel, you hear the gunshot, and if you look, you see her having fired at the gray man.
Okay.
Part of you feels the regret that Veronica isn't here anymore. But you know, at least in her memory, you must get through this journey.
And I must save her. And I must save her. So basically, I try to. So this is where that's the only threat right now.
Yeah. Well, him and all the gray soldiers,
Okay.
which are basically a shipment of different nationalities, different clothes, all gray. That's what's made them the same.
I'll try to weave through the great soldier.
What's your objective? Where do you want to get?
I want to go near.
During her?
Yeah, during her, try to save her. But I will have to make sure that everything's clear before I ask.
Okay. I guess athletics And it could be brawn if you're using your strength to traverse the area, or it could be finesse if you're weaving and dodging and
It's more of a punching through.
okay. Then it could be brawn and brawl as you cut your way through. Prepare your dice pools.
So that's 6.
Brawl is 4. Brawl is 2. Don't forget, if your stat is 3, you can reroll one of your dice. 2 dice, because one is the first time you're using brawn, second one is the you describe what you're doing, which is punching your way through the people.
The trait.
So 1, 2, 3, and then make more tens.
More than. Let's say reroll.
You have a 3 in brawl.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, brawl.
Oh, broad now.
In skills.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So you'll keep 5 races.
Yeah.
With your first race, you're cutting through people, bashing your way through, getting closer.
I drew my two-handed sword.
Okay.
And as far as opposite to his finesse, mostly it's brute force combat.
Mhm.
And cleave through the body with the raven, as well as try to smash the hilt.
You can use, because you have 4 races, right? So you can use 1 to get to her. The remaining 3 can be damaged to the brutes.
Okay.
Sounds good?
Yes.
Okay. So you cut through them. I'm noting down the damage. Collectively, you're cutting them, mowing through them. You are getting closer and closer to her. When along the way, you hear an anguished scream. And on the side, you see Katarina Lumiere. She's been pinned by 2 of the gray men. One of them has her saber through his chest right now. And it's pinned to her weapon, keeping her from using it. The other one is about to slash at her with this pronged fork-like thing.
Why?
You have to choose. Still get to her or divert.
After that work, of course, he's more in trouble now.
Kicking away from her, you charge towards Katarina, and with that last race to get to her, which is now for the other,
For the other category.
for Lumiere, what do you do?
I basically, one is trying to thrust at her or slash at her.
Well, the other one's keeping her pinned with the sword to its chest.
So, the one with the sword through her chest, I grab, with my one hand, I grab and kick it away, and then great sword, I cleave through both of them together.
Lumiere sees the blade moving, ducks straight down. You cut through the waists of both. As the bodies fall down and crumble and break into ashes, she rises back to her feet, looks at you and tells you, I can't find the captain! And we cut back to the flashbacks real quick. Dinner. The 3 guests are seated at the table. Beside, well, the 3 guests being Einar and the 2 others. You are both anxious because according to Veronica, the captain will be with us today. And the 2 of you haven't seen the captain in your previous journey. You both notice that the crew has been whispering to each other and giggling whenever the captain is ready. And true enough, you enter the dining hall. There is a massive painting of a naked man lying, and there is a corgi covering his private part. You stare at the painting, and the man is in the usual scraggly beard, really badly misshapen thinness.
But that's a portrait.
A naked portrait. That's like wall to wall.
But it's not like ideal in the sense that he's scraggly and okay.
Captain on deck! Everyone stands up. You find yourself standing up with them, not knowing what to do. You 2 leaning forward, anxious to see who the captain is. Coming into view, you see Veronica. Veronica walks up to the table but does not go to the head of the table. She instead puts the chair closer and goes, "Captain!" A dog hops onto the chair.
A corgi.
You're all staring at the corgi.
Oh, corgi.
The corgi turns and looks at all of you from the table, leaning its front paws at you. "Everyone, we can sit down. Captain says it's okay." Veronica sits down.
I think that is this a normal thing?
St. George looks at you. "Is there a problem?
No, not at all.
Master Hellstrom?"
The captain is. This is our captain.
"Yes, of course.
Hi,
Our captain has always been with us and will forever be with us." And to your surprise, the corgi barks at you.
St. George. I'm sure it was a bone.
You think this is a joke?
No, not at all.
It's a very good joke. It's bad.
I don't want to bark up the wrong tree, you know.
You see Katarina beside you and whispers. And she whispers, it's close enough for you both to hear as well. That dog is named Captain. And it's been the dog of our captain prior to his demise.
Oh,
We lost him on a journey facing against this great ship. And we have never seen him since. But we've always held in our hearts that he should be still alive somewhere out there. And so Captain serves as our captain until the captain's return.
such wisely.
He saved a lot of us in many ways. He saved you when you were thrown overboard by the pirate ship. And he saved me when I was still a slave to be sold in the Hawaiian trading company. Our captain, Peter Fabria, shall always be remembered. Let's begin with the first meal. A plate is brought in and you all see the plates placed in front of you have bones. Nothing else. Corgi, of course. It's attacking the
He
bones.
attacks and
Veronica's looking at all of you. Let's begin the second meal. The bones are collected away and a proper food is now served. As Veronica breaks into laughter, her eyes meet yours. So what brings a lady of obvious wealth onto a ship like ours? I could understand Joseph. He was searching for monsters and they treated him as one. He needed a new home.
I wish I wasn't so
Oh, she just really hates being nobility here, I know.
Yeah.
He looks at her and then at you. I'm sorry, I was speaking to... It's alright, she just is tired of telling the story over and over again.
Right. Thank you. I know.
So sure, you look very close. Looks at you. Aina looks at you. So, anyone here you fancy? Perhaps they... Interesting. Hey, she fancies someone! Everyone looks at you. But she'll just talk about it later. I hate that. Strange. Dinner goes on uneventfully. Any quick last scene before we jump back to the present? Well, anyone has a specific background or expansion they want to touch on? Or any NPC you want to talk to?
that from the dog, but I'd probably get no overboard.
We can have a scene with the dog, sure. What did you try to do? This is after the dinner.
Yeah, I mean, just like, inspecting, like, where does the dog stay?
You've been watching the dog. You've been following the dog around, and to your surprise, the dog is damn seaworthy. Doesn't have a problem on deck, even with the rough water. At some point, you'll see St. George. He'll be calling out, 2 sails! The men grab the ropes, and as they climb up the ropes, the sails drop down. They drop down and start tying the ropes to lock them in place. You'll see Captain grab one of the ropes and run it towards one of the hooks. And then someone will be there, thanks, Captain. It's tying it up. The dog knows its shit. And true enough, at one point, you look up, you see Griffin. Yeah, Captain knows more than you. Can you imagine that? A dog knows more than you.
New to say.
Griffin really doesn't like you.
Not at all.
Okay, what I'm going to be doing, I will be visiting the cook. And I'll be looking around, maybe finding something I could work with. Maybe I could, spice up some of the food here.
Sees you're spicing my food. While you're there.
You know, I have a little knowledge now in me, and maybe this could help, make things nicer for the food.
Alchemista.
Yes.
He shifts to Castilian. You're an alchemista.
Yes, senor.
Prove it. He gets a spoon, he looks around, and then scrapes lard.
Use this,
Cast iron stomach. Gets the spoon, gets some of the ashes. Make this palatable.
Alright.
Start mixing this and that. Give it na. Alchemist. Smile. We could use one of you on the ship. We do not have an engineer.
I could take a look at it.
The captain, though, you'll have to win the captain over.
I was wondering about that.
I'm serious. You have to win the captain over. The captain is very selective. In fact, there was one time Griffin was supposed to become the one in charge of the ship. The captain refused. Every time Griffin would speak as the ship's master, the captain would be barking non-stop. But when Veronica took over, Captain gone quiet.
Interesting. Perhaps there's a delicacy in there.
Some even wonder if the captain's actually Usura. Usura have people who can turn into animals.
Food for thought.
But we doubt it.
Let me scrape a few bones, see what I can make up. Maybe make him happy for a morning.
Oh no. Captain never eats bones. Not unless it's on his plate. And only during meal times.
Fair enough, fair enough. Let me help you a little more here. Maybe we can have a very hard friend.
He smiles. What's clear skies up there? We wrap it up. The ship moves quietly in its journey, and the initial passage is quite nice. As you leave San Cristobal, making your way down the Widow's Sea, and moving towards the Luminary approach, the waters are rough but not unsettling. Soon you are moving past the lands of Adachi. You can see the Signore Islands, which annoyingly look more like a resort than anything. Islands that people are just enjoying and relaxing, which feels so stark contrast to all the other docks elsewhere in the world where it's labor and shipments and the like. But that's what actually.
Good internet. I'd like to concoct a specific potion that would make me a little more amicable to Veronica.
In what way?
Yeah, a little more amicable.
Kumbaga, perfume.
Sorry. Okay.
No need to spend for that. You make the mix. You'll spend later when you use it.
Alright.
But you don't time preparing it.
Yeah, another.
As the night grows late, Einar, to your surprise, isn't even sick, but chooses to stay in his quarters and rest because he claims his shoulders are really painful, but only this side, and he doesn't know why. You've all realized, however, that's where he holds his money bag.
lot of money.
So with nightfall, do you keep watch?
Yes, I also have a word with Saint Louis.
Okay, we'll have a St. Church scene on watch. That's perfect. And you?
I'll be inspecting just to see everything from.
You have sail, right?
Yeah.
As far as you can tell, the ship has gone through rough scrap. Okay, in 7C, ships have backgrounds, just like characters. And they represent the journeys the ship has gone through. They also give mechanical bonuses. We're not using it because none of you own a ship. But if it was a game where someone owns a ship, your ship has its own character sheet. It's safe enough to say you look at the stats of the ship and you can tell it has gone through a lot, but has survived even more. And you're very impressed that the ship is still functioning. The ship is a 3-mast ship, but only 1 mast is being used right now, and it's still sailing pretty well. No existing damage, at least I can share with that. You?
Maybe it's optional for me to go up to that process to keep an eye out.
Yeah, it's fine.
No,
You- What's your athletics? You effortlessly make your way up to the crow's nest. And as you get there, you notice him and St. George at the deck in the evening. It seems they'll be keeping watch. Kumbaga, the crow's nest is only necessary when necessary, but it's not really. Normally, whalers are the ones that use it. In your case, you just like it up there also because it brings you away from Griffin.
Yes, that's it.
And while there, is there anything else to do?
Can I like check what sort of components I have on this?
In what sense?
These components, do I have to make them?
The assumption is you spend a hero point, you declare you prepared one of the major and up to 4 of the minor.
Oh, I think I'll do that.
And the assumption is you have the components already. It's only when it's the story specific that we can say you don't have the components. I do that with longer games kasi that's literally, okay, I'll visit the graveyard. Terribly sorry, I need your eyes. Yeah.
Oh, I see. I'll use the hero point.
What you can do is map out now what you think you'll prepare as doses.
Oh,
Because you can prepare up to 4 minor doses. So that can be 4 of one of the same or different 4 or any combination. And 1 of the major. With 1 hero point.
oh, I
So you can just mark it with a pencil and later tell me that you prepared it, that's fine. So siguro while you're up there, you're
yeah. So no one can see
mixing and
my
making.
stuff.
Pulling out an eye.
Because I can understand if people are.
And you
Okay.
try to have a moment with the captain. Well, with Veronica.
Yes.
So we'll have a quick cutscenes because of time. She opens the door and sees you. Is there a problem?
None, man.
There's no need to call me my lady. Veronica will do fine.
Okay. So Veronica, I would like to give you this as a token of friendship and thanks.
Sees it, eyes narrow, takes the glass vial from you. She barely opens it. Sage, rose, cedar, small touch of vinegar. Smells it closer. But that allows the scent to last longer. Right. And the contrast makes the rose more potent. Alchemista. Smart.
Yes. It's something I've been working behind my mother's back.
Why are you giving it? Your journey is paid for. Einar has been generous enough to give a substantial amount. Which reminds me, I'll have to remind you to leave it 2 more times.
Well, maybe when we are out of port, we could, have a drink together or something.
Looks at you. Mademoiselle Fontabelle, are you asking me out?
Well, yes, but
his hubris tends to fall in love with someone.
Yeah.
You've activated, you can mark it now, it's activated this one. I am very flattered, and I will admit, this is very nice. However, he takes a step back. The door opens more, and you see in the background Katarina on her bed.
Oh, the other Katarina. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Would you like to join us? For wine.
Yes, for wine.
I was able to get the wine while we were gone.
Ah, pink and white wine.
Come on, join us instead.
I suppose.
The wine will help take the shame away.
Falling out.
Falling out.
Okay.
You step in.
Sure, why not?
Step in, as you step in, the door closes, Veronica looks at you. Leave the shoes.
Okay.
Then it's walking back to the tent. You look down at your boots. Unzip? Or keep them on.
It's rude for me to keep them on.
Boots off, you approach her, and as you sit, we cut to you and St. George sitting at the front of the pro. You can see them as you're mixing. I am very bothered. Very disturbed. Our client, strange man. You know, he approached me and asked if I am this color because I have been sailing long and never below the deck. He does not seem to understand that I am originally from Italy, Africa.
Such a character.
He seems to know
But knows a lot.
so many and so little at the same time.
Yes. My thoughts is that. Although you mentioned that it's a great ship.
That was before we had you join us, as well as before Joseph,
I see.
which reminds me, that young Master Joseph. Do you think he's a good fit for the ship? He seems to wander around the Master Griffin too often. I don't think he's ready to truly be his own man.
He seems to work hard.
You think so?
Yes. Tries to be. Tries to prove himself.
With the gray ship,
Anyone.
they call it the Admiral. He shakes his head. Gray as the dust of burning fire. It moves without any sound. Its crew moves with an efficiency unlike any I've ever seen. And its captain,
Why would it go after the morning sun?
we simply happen to be in this way, he describes. How the ship appeared after a thick fog. They tried to outrun it. They weren't able to. The captain tried an old duel then. If I lose, you take me, but you leave my ship behind.
So they took it back.
Yes. He refused to allow us to fight and try to free.
He wasn't executed. Or, I mean, killed in combat.
That we do not.
So there's a possibility. There's truth to the possibility that he's still alive.
One can.
I see.
And you up there as you're mixing and hearing that.
You know, my times that I've known about Cyber, I've heard of these kinds of stories.
Undead and the ship. Or you've heard of stories, but you've never encountered one. But there's one thing you know: all undead are vulnerable to your exploit. It's just a question of having the right preparations.
I chose one of these orders.
Please. Good. Prepare it. Didn't think you'd have undead to deal with in the sea. In truth, that's why Veronica decided to have Joseph join the crew. To you were thinking an exit would prove useful given our encounters with the great ships,
Then I would shoot him. Yep. They would shoot him.
we're treating him the best there is.
Really?
You both, huh?
Oh.
Yes, we do. We got back to you inside because we're really rushing your timeline.
So, running away from home. Yeah. Because a life of wealth, popularity, beauty, and pleasure not enough, that you must have danger and excitement to do. In truth, life in the court has been dull, has been, it doesn't satisfy myself as a person. I know there is more to life than this hubris of opulence.
Lumiere smiles.
You describe your life the way I describe my life. Well, my life with men. It just felt like I needed more. Something different. Something missing. That is true.
Veronica raises her eyebrows.
You feel the same about women. Well, perhaps that's why I had 57 courtings and none of them pleased me. Perhaps I'm looking for more than that.
Lumiere's eyes widen.
So you're a virgin? I am. Still. And you're how old? 27? That's ghastly. No. That thing probably has cobwebs and stuff. I know. Veronica, Lumiere, be nice. Get them red all over. We got them. Listen. A woman's life is a woman's life. And sadly, in this world, despite having queens and empresses, men still think they're in charge of most of it. That is true. Especially in production. I know that for certain. I left because my father sold me in marriage, believing that some sort of union would be suffice to make me have importance. Exactly why I was 5. Oh, sorry. But enough of the past. We deal with the present. He opens the wine. And let's hope that we'll have a wonderful future. And you remember those being more or less the last lines she ever shared with you on your own. You are standing now in front of the dreamer. Might. Waters explode as tentacles begin to rise. You are seeing the tentacles rising from the waters as well, and you realize, unlike the gray things, this one seems alive. It's not skeletal or anything. It's still fleshy and moist and organic. You, from your vantage point, see the tentacles rising as well. But you duck down below, and as you hurry down below, you see Charles St. Pierre yelling at the captain, the people there. Reload the captain! Reload the cannons! We're firing! You hear one of them, but sir, we're too close to the other ship! I don't care! We're firing! You hurry down below, and you, from your spot, as you land beside Lumiere, she looks at you and says, "It's Veronica."
Yes.
As you look where she's pointing, you see on the gray ship, Veronica all alone. A splash of color on the gray deck, slashing at the gray soldiers, fighting on that ship. I'll need everyone to declare their approach. Their approach is their initial action in mind. So for example, ikaw is attack the guy, then that's your approach. If your approach, for example, is, I don't know, let's say, try to focus on the tentacles, then tell me how you're doing it with what skill, and so on and so forth. And then we'll make your rolls. You resolve it in order of initiative, which is the higher race. So your approaches? Okay. I look at the captain of the admiral, and I
raise my sword. Is it an additional? Peter Javier of the Grey Ship. I challenge you to a duel.
So you're going for a duel that can be panache and weaponry. As you bring up the reporter to the duel. Peter Javier responds with, "You must be mistaken, little woman. Your ship is my ship." Peter Javier, remember the name? You?
I'm going to, but I have this feeling that the person that is facing is no longer alive. It's undead.
He's all gray as well with a bony hand and black blood. So yeah, it's safe to say he's probably dead.
That's your really smart question. He's like the captain here. Who did he do it before? Exactly.
There's something there. So what do you plan to do? What's your plan?
Investigate as they go. But as I'm rushing down, I'll probably
You're still up on the crow's nest from last night.
I'll jump down.
Yeah, you tied your rope, by the way. Yeah, that was your last scene. So, what do you plan to do with the rope now tied on your wings?
I will jump down and try to lace my weapon on my way down and try to take out the guy that's like controlling the tentacles.
That's the gray guy, he's in the duel.
Yeah. So I think I'll have to go for him.
Okay.
Because if the ship goes down, we're all going down.
You?
Mine, upon seeing...
Sorry. Then, you would be weaponry and finesse.
Alright.
Prepare the dice pool.
Mine, upon seeing the...
This is a new scene, yeah, sorry. This is a new scene for everyone, so it's new, extra dice for everyone. Except for you who had a roll kanina, unless you're using the same roll. No, not yet. Use new scene.
I'll be, upon seeing that the gunners are preparing to fire their cannon, and I have no time to run out, to go to the fire ground. I'll command them the easiest way para to fire the tentacle.
You start telling them
Where to fire.
you have an idea of where they should fire.
I have a warfare.
Yeah, warfare means you can command them, that's no problem. But you have an idea where to fire other than just firing usually.
Yes,
So I guess you're also trying to convince Pierre
to fire.
Charles and Pierre that, wait, I have a better idea where you fire. Then Panache convince, and you?
Catherine was fighting on another ship.
Veronica is on the gray ship.
And then she fighting one.
The men of the other guy, which are gray men.
I'll try to cut a rope and swim
Across the train, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's brawn and athletics.
Okay.
Everyone has their dice pools.
Okay.
So you're all ready to roll. You may roll, but I am spending a danger point. You must create 15 instead of 10 for a single race. Okay. Basically, I'm increasing the stakes.
So, sorry, kapag rank 3.
Sorry? Rank 3 means when you're done rolling, one of the dice you can reroll. Before you roll, are you looking to help each other? Give another person 3 dice. Kasi what happens here normally is, I help you. You can do it, Gunther! So you get 3 dice. And then you pay also one to help me and say, I believe you can do it too. So we both get 3 extra dice.
I'll give for him. For her.
How do you represent helping 3 dice?
I'll shout at her before I'm going down.
What do you shout?
I know it's a long. I know this is what you know.
That's good. This is what you long for. Okay, you?
I will help him,
Okay.
shouting words of encouragement, because seeing as he's going to fight another ship master.
Yeah.
And then anyone else? Yeah. What's your arcana?
The Emperor commanded. Activate the
You activate that now. So you don't spend anything, you just scratch it, and everyone gets a hero point.
I tell him to Katarina, right? Katarina, keep him busy. You, assist him. Bring that thing down. And you, hold the ship. Protect everyone. I'll go help.
Protect everyone. And then. And anyone else?
I'll be helping him.
Yeah.
I will be.
This is what you long for. After he yells that, he yells that.
Listen. Make sure that everyone's safe.
Can
You
I
help
mean,
him, diba?
Yeah.
So you have 3 extra dice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I spend another hero point to activate my Arcana?
Which one?
As activate the virtue after feelings. That brings us.
You basically can activate at any time the moment I spend to do something to her or to anyone and you want to do it.
Okay.
You get +2
For what?
First time activation.
Yes. Because this is a new scene. You haven't used athletics yet. So what normally we do is you put a small check mark on the skill you used in the scene. So you can keep track. And that's fine. This is most likely the main scene of the game and then some smaller scenes. Oh, I'm sorry.
Of course.
I'll activate na lang yung joy user.
Already? This soon?
Before ako
Sayang ha?
Sige later.
Kasi that makes everyone have so many races. You might want to save that for a big moment.
Yeah.
Enemy will be acting. I'm spending 3 to add 3 more dice. This represents the main villain, Stephen Fabriel. The brute squad that he has will always act at the end. And what will happen is I will choose who they damage, and whatever their squad rating is how much damage that player will take. Races you spend reduce the brute squad. There were 5 earlier, there are now only 4. 3 of them are still rank 10, 1 is rank 7.
Okay.
And trust me, that's not that big. That goes on real quick.
So
I'll spend a hero point
Or
one more night.
okay, that's fine. But keep in mind you're creating 15.
I'll reroll 1.
And
You get to use all. 4.
1.
Wow. 4. Anyone selling? Anyone selling dice that you use?
Rerolling.
I only got 2.
4.
I'll sell 1.
That's the one. Okay, we'll give you a danger point.
Stop the one.
Okay.
Okay, I'm 34.
3 races.
I have 4
Wait.
races.
There, 4. Okay.
I should keep them just,
Ako just keep a number.
I got 3 raises.
I got 4. I got 2.
So who's the highest? 4? So we act at the same time. But villains always come first. As you swing, Javier sees you swinging motions with his clawed hand. I'll spend one of my races. As you swing across to the other ship, you land on the ship. The tentacle reaches around, grabs hold of you from behind and pulls you off the ship. You're suddenly right now being held by a tentacle. No wounds yet, but you're currently held by a tentacle. You'll have to break free from that somehow. Your turn to act.
So, do I use the race to break them?
You can, if you can tell me how.
Okay. This is what I do. If it's wrapped around, right? It's, I bite into it.
Pull it off, gritty old man. You stomp your teeth down on it. You spend 1 race for that. So you won't damage it, but you slip free.
Okay.
Or do you damage it, but you're still held? See, that's how races
I
work.
split free, but I ready the sword enough.
So as you bite on it, it loosens slightly that you start sliding free. You can later spend races to damage it with your sword if you want. But currently you're sliding down alongside its body towards the water.
Oh, okay. So I grab.
You want to grab hold now or later?
Um,
Because someone might do something to help you back.
Oh,
Kaya na races mo.
do I have to spend them all
No.
for it?
One by one. One by one.
Oh, so that was my
You
first
can
race.
stop for now.
Yeah, I'll stop for now.
Okay.
See what happens.
Anyone 3?
I got 3.
Because we're at 3 now.
I got 3.
You're 3. Would you like to act first? Because I can always act first, but I'm asking you if you want to go first.
And then you go first.
The villain entangles him and you see him squirming free and he starts sliding to the water. Then he looks at you, smiles, and then directs the other tentacle at you. Okay? You realize this one's not planning to grab you. The tentacle is about to stab where you're standing. Okay, you can spend the race to deflect it, meaning you find a way to counter that stab. Or you let it hit and you act. Keep in mind you're a duelist. There are a lot of dueling maneuvers that allow you to do more than one thing with a single race.
Okay, I will parry it.
So you'll spend your
One rate.
for the parry effect, which is it reduces the number of wounds by your weaponry.
Yes. So let's see that.
Take 5 wounds.
After your reduction?
Yes.
Whoa!
As you leap, the ground where you're standing is shattered. You were able to parry to some effect, but the debris still cuts through you. As you land on the ground, you see the wounds and all. You look up, you see him, the gray man smiling. And he tells you, yes, 1. You can act with 3s, because I'm down to 2. 3. No, wait, he's still 3.
Great. So what I do is
As you're sliding on the tentacle,
I grab hold of something. Oh, sorry, I'm sliding down with it.
kasi you're slip free, di ba? So you're sliding down along its body. And the only reason I'm using the tentacle is the thing you're sliding on is you can kick off it, you can grab hold of it,
Can I swing at it?
hack it.
Hacking?
Sure!
And then after hacking, I stab the sword into the, or I chop the sword into the side of the wood of the ship.
To try to hold on.
Yeah, try to hold on.
You can do that by spending races. How much races will you deal for damage? And how much races, well, you can spend one last race to stab into the wall. So you could like spend 2 to damage, 1 to the wall.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it.
And you're not a duelist, right?
No.
So you don't deal any extra damage. Yeah, it's 1:1. But trust me, that does a lot when you see it against group squad. You lop off a large chunk of the tentacle. Purplish blood sprays out, and as the gum, forces you away from the wood you just caused, you stab the blade into the wood. It stops your fall, and the tentacle pulls back into the water. Not liking the fact it's not paying. You're out of races now, though, so you can't do anything until you're all done.
I'm just hacking there.
Yeah. You've acted with the parry, so you're now 2. Everyone's 2, right?
3.
Oh, you still have 3. It's enough. Thumbs up.
So I
Did you see him hanging there?
So, as
You saw her dodge the,
as I saw the tentacles move back to the water.
well, one of them.
One of them. I command up here, and it's crew of gunners to shoot at the water.
Yes, we have to shoot. There's a view. Downwards.
Yes.
To the water.
Yes.
Do it! You see all of them, the cannons, they're chained so they can kick back. They all grab the pings, they all hoist it up, so it starts angling downwards. But you hear fear, reminding them to fire immediately before the cannonball rolls out. So they time it as the wick burns, and then last second, something screams in the water. Spend on race. You commanded the crew. I'll have you roll. No, sorry, you don't roll. They're commanding time.
Okay.
That's good. No need to roll. The joys of commanding a group of people. The water shivers. There's a audible, muffled scream of something underwater that didn't like it. Pierre looks at you and smiles and tells everyone, reload! Do you stay there for now or do you go somewhere else?
I'll go back to
Rush back upstairs.
Rush back upstairs Griffin.
Okay.
And
So,
then I'll convince him again with us.
you're 2, you're 0, 2, 2, 2. I'll let you go first for 2.
It's gonna take for me to move.
So you see the way the game works, it's like a scene in a movie, focusing on people. And then sometimes it's a few moments longer than the other.
That's right. jumps off with a rope.
Yeah, you're descending right now with a rope, but you haven't decided what the ending will be of that jump.
I'm going to try to stab the guy.
You'll do that now.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just spend your race and you've done it. Okay, it's that simple in 7C.
Alright.
Now, you'll deal only 1 damage, but your power allows the wounds you deal to be doubled.
Yeah, 100 months venom.
When you spend... Sorry, it's not doubled. When you spend a hero point, you deal 2 extra wounds, right? Yun yung description niya.
Wounds are doubled again.
Yeah. So if you spend your second race as well, you're down to 0. You'll deal 2, it means you deal 4.
Yeah.
Will you go for that?
Yeah.
Okay. Spend your race. That's 4, that means 6. That's 6 damage. Okay. You swing, and as you swing, Javier is laughing at you because you just dodged the tentacle. You suddenly swing from where? From the side, from behind, from
the side.
You can describe it the way you want.
I swing from the side, and while I'm swinging, I'm like quoting my weapon. Then I stab it onto him.
And then as you get too close to him, you don't swing fast. You stab in.
Yeah.
You stare at him. There's a protrusion in his chest as you stab him. He turns to you. I haven't acted yet. I won't yet. 2.
Okay.
There's a dramatic timing you want to hit. And those who are not having their turn, feel free to grab water. Or soda.
Can I go to the restroom?
That's what? Bedroom, restroom on the right. The flush is weak. If you have trouble, just tell me. I'll help you.
Oh,
But normally we just flush and aim the bidet at the same time to help it flush. There's also a tabo if you need it.
oh.
So I would actually I would use my Aldana route. I'll jump in and then basically fake the fake the attack. Catching him off guard.
So you spend your race,
Yes.
and the effect of the Aldana ruse is
Target takes additional wounds equal to panache when he will take wounds this round.
oh, you
And
should
the
have.
next
Can you trigger that before he's
Ah!
Okay, if you spend a hero point, I'll allow it that was triggered before.
I will spend.
Of course.
Because it's, so as you dodge, you charge forward, and as you're about to strike, you last minute pull the blow. What are you? And then from behind.
Yeah.
That's more awesome.
Yeah.
You'll take additional wounds equal to your panache. So your panache is 3. Ooh, that's painful. Plus 6. You'll deal 3, he deals 2, so that's 5, but it's double.
Oh.
That's a lot.
Yes. So he takes 10 wounds. Give me a moment. I need math. So that hits that. And then there's 5 more. Ooh, nice. Guess what? We retcon slightly because Aldana's ruse doubles, adds more damage. That will be dealt that round. So it works better with yours happening the moment after he triggered it.
What happens? The next one is I jump in, I use my Aldana route,
Feint.
I feint.
So when he was distracted, that's when you stabbed it. So your kanina 4 damage has become 10. Thanks to her.
Wow.
And that has gone over what I needed. So it was faster, right? Looks at you, and as he's about to say something, you're able to push it further. It breaks through him. His eyes widen in panic. The black oil that's seeping out is sizzling and burning from the ointment that's coating your weapon. And it realizes it feels pain. Javier panics, and that's when you catch it. In this moment of panic, and it hurts! How are you hurting me? All the other gray soldiers go inert. Hold the composure. Yes. How will they start to stand again? Dare you! I'll use my knife.
At that moment, I'll use my race to convince Griffin to maneuver the boat towards away from the other boat. Just a little bit away, and then I'll command Pierre to fire back at the penthouse para meron ng pwersa siya para kumodyo kung meron konti.
You're a two, no?
Yep. So,
Yeah.
I think
Well, you can spend both. One to move the boat and one
One
for
to
the
fire.
cannons. You're down to zero na then.
hey, where are you going?
So, how dare you? As he's about to do something, we cut to you with Griffin, the two of you pull on the wheel. The ship begins to turn. The men of Griffin have dislodged some of the ropes that are holding the mast of a certain way, so it now blows in a certain way. At that moment, you yell out to
Fire.
Charles, fire! The ship actually almost flies backwards a few yards as the cannons fire. And another tentacle withdraws into the depths. Oh, this is quick. Javier's balance is lost for a brief moment, but not enough, sadly, to stop him from what he was planning to do. With his not skeletal hand, he grabs you by the face, pulls you close, and breathes into your face. The gray dust begins to fly into your nostrils. You feel it coating your throat, which sadly the impulse is to inhale even more. You feel the particles flying in you and you don't know what's going to happen because of that. I'm down to one. Who's down to one?
I am not the one.
You could assume you are slowly trying to get your way up. You can assume you are still with Griffin turning the ship. We're both ones.
I'm up and
Javier looks at you and tells you, you win this fight. And then he closes his eyes. Do you have Indomitable now?
No. Oh wait, yes, I do.
You can spend a hero point so it fails. You feel your body seize up. And as you look down, you notice your skin's turning grayish. Your clothes aren't. But your skin's turning grayish, your palms turning grayish. And then you feel the urge to pull the blade out into battle. But you maintain control. His face turns panic as he realizes it's not working.
Oh,
What do you do? I'm out.
And I lunge at the guy.
Leaping forward.
All my hero point. Yeah, no, I can't add the hero point to that, right?
No.
It's not, okay. So that,
Slash. Slash is still the highest damaging. Lunges if you have a lot of races.
yeah. So let's go for slash.
Where do you slash it? Make it nice.
Slashing in the gut.
While they're talking, you rush forward. Your blade slashes. What's your weaponry? 3. So that's 3 wounds plus the raise, so 4 wounds. And duelists are scary. Oh, wait, no, that bounces up. As you rip, the stomach area actually breaks open. You see a hollow left behind as ashes scatter and all this and that. He howls in pain again. He seems to be affected by the wounds right now. You don't know if it's your cutting or your cutting makes him react and that makes your gumalaw siya sa masakit na area.
Oh.
And you, as he completes the slash, what do you do? You're out already. So you're shaking. I'll have you choose. The weapon's still stuck in him, but you lose hold of it as he moves. Or you pull the weapon away from him, but at least you keep your blade as he tries to escape.
No, I'll let go. Get the weapon.
So you're trying to hold on to yourself, trying to control. You let go of the blade as he staggers away with the blade still stuck in his back. He seems to call out, and you see all the gray men starting to gather away from the fight and towards where he is. A new round begins. Everyone, consider your new approach. Sadly, your first approach will be an athletics move,
Go up.
unless you have something else in mind.
Hey you! Over here!
It becomes convinced, it becomes...
Well, I'm coordinating with my attacks with you, so I'm helping you.
Yeah.
So that gives him 3 extra dice.
Okay.
Here. Para lang you can easily separate them. It's a new round. Javier is in pain and is now recalling his guards to leave.
I shall also spend a hero point. Just as a sideline, I did concoct something in the kitchen.
You've been concocting stuff.
Yes.
So
So
we'll use one of them today.
yes, I shall be enhancing my finesse.
A quick ano. And then you get more finesse.
Alright.
Well,
So it will basically cost you your first raise. But it's not an approach.
Right.
So what's your approach, Parag?
So my approach,
What are you planning
I
to
will
do?
continue to do it.
You still charge at him and fight.
Right.
Okay. So it's still weaponry, sadly no more extra dot. No more extra die for the first time, but you do have an extra die for the shifter.
Right.
Okay. You?
I'll...
We only go for 10 now, right? Not 15.
We'll find out. Don't draw yet. Just prepare them. Ang dami kong danger points.
Sige, I'll continue convincing the plotter.
Well, more leading than
More
leading.
leading.
Oh,
But you'll use convince basically.
since I am already at 5.
You'll continue guiding them.
Okay.
So 1 extra die for action, but no extra die for first time use. You? Any new ideas?
Because
Keep in mind you're free to add detail like there's rope hanging, there's a dead body within reach. That's all
the
free
green
to.
men are converging on
Javier.
Javier.
Mhm.
So I grab a rope, swim back, and try to get in between
Try to land where they are.
and then instead of his back up.
Okay. So I guess the rope will still be athletics for the initial arrival. And bronze. Okay. So just 1 die extra.
Oh, yeah. Since I am damaged, I will.
Yes, if you have
We get an extra.
one lang for the disregard. Don't forget, if you hit your first star, that's 1 free die now in all of your moves.
Do we still roll?
I'll see...
No, I'll keep it at 10 for now. I want to spend it somewhere. I am spending 4 for 4 extra dice.
I'll be activating Madlock to...
Ooh. Once per game, huh? Okay, go, go, go.
So you gain 2 extra dice.
Okay. Can I spend a hero point for an opportunity?
You're creating an opportunity?
Yes.
What opportunity are you looking at?
I was thinking of taking advantage of crack in the on the flooring, probably from the rockets that he made from the cannons that were firing, splinters and all that. So maybe I could use that to my benefit. One more thing.
No need to spend. Sorry, Maglock works differently. Don't get 2 extra dice.
Alright.
You roll 2 dice, I'll let you use this,
Okay.
it's a little bit different. And then you choose who gets them.
Okay.
And then they get that number for the rest of the scene.
Oh!
So roll down. There's a 4 and a 3. So who will have a 3 to add for the rest of the scene to their dice rolls, and who will have a 4 to add for the rest of the scene?
Well,
Bad luck.
4 for her.
Oh yeah, so give them the die. So now in your dice pool, make sure that's always one of the dice in your dice pool.
Right.
And it's rolled already.
One more thing, by the way. Can I still give out 0 points?
Yes.
Because what I plan is to get the team, what I this club here and this men, that trying to buy some time for them to.
But you have to choose who you're helping.
I'll do Catherine.
So Katarina gets 3 extra dice.
Nice, super buff.
You don't have camaraderie.
Wala.
1, 2, 3. Alright. So that's 3 from him, 3 from my weaponry, 4 from my finesse.
Feel so sad with my small.
Let's work together.
I'm gonna try to tackle him. And then try to grab my blade again and try to throw it again.
Okay.
So wait, what do I roll for that?
Brawn and brawl, I presume.
Okay.
Wait, I forgot last turn. Totally forgot my good squad. Stupid.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll have one brute squad attack you. So while everything was happening, a bunch of them closed in on you. You were start fighting. Some of them got a few licks in. Sadly, this means you take. Yeah, you'll take 7 wounds.
Whoa.
So mark down 7 wounds that I think unlocks your die.
I'll use my riot breaker.
This turn na lang. You didn't use it last turn. Because remember, the brute squad end at the end of the turn half. So take 7 wounds for now. You can use right breaker this turn, but the wounds still happen. That gives you an extra die. And then there's one more brute squad. Ooh.
Anyway, I'll be adding 2 more.
No, it seems appropriate that they attack you, since he realizes you're the one who hurt him the most.
Yeah.
So while he was trying to limp away, a number of the Grey soldiers started crashing at you and attacking you. You were fending them off, carrying them, but sadly, a few licks got in as well. 10 wounds. Ouch.
2 more dice. Adding.
Can I change my
So you're how many dramatic ones?
New turn naman.
Well, you haven't rolled yet, so you can do a different action instead.
I'll fend off the
Only 8.
Focus on the brute squad and fight them.
Only 8. 7 reach yet.
Okay, then you now have an extra die,
Alright.
and that's it. And then you have also an A, so you have an extra die, but not yet B. And then you have, you're going for an attack instead.
Yeah.
Okay, so weaponry brawl.
Then I use the
After all, yes?
Yeah!
Oh,
10, not 15, 10.
Okay.
I need my points also.
Ooh, there you go.
Rerolling this one.
And I'll
Go
close
one. Okay. I got 1,
1,
2,
4 again.
3,
Umabot.
Oh, what's the difference?
Wala, there's no way to...
But you don't get anything out of that.
No.
That's right.
I've got 5. Wow. 6. Yeah, 4, 4, 2, that's 1, 2,
Wait, duelists are here. But when it's not duels, they're kinda...
3,
Everyone has shining
4,
orbs.
5, 6. I got 6 and 1 extra.
You have
Okay,
Yeah, 4, 2, 2. And then,
so 6. Okay, note down, you put a die at 6 para you remember that you raise it.
6 and 1 extra.
4,
I'm not buying.
Alright.
Yoko. Give me the points. I will choose not to buy the point.
Alright.
Okay. 10, hanggang 10 diba? Group of 10.
Yeah.
I got, this doesn't go over though.
Okay lang mag-over. Basta 10s ang set.
I got
So you can
6.
like build a 15, it still counts as 10. Unless we were building 15.
Yeah, I got 6. Ito, sobra to ng half. But I don't think I can do anything with that. That's number 4. Yeah, I got 6 also.
Okay. I have 5. So who goes before me? How sad. I am slow.
Everyone's,
Well, fast. What do you have that kind of worsen condition?
nothing really. We prepared one then. Since the blade is still on him, I'm sure it's still hurting him, I think. I'm probably gonna shoot at it now.
Okay, I would say, yeah, it's rated. That's more effective than the slashes. I would, I would bash him.
Shift to a bash. So that's what's the effect?
That is dealing just 1 wound.
Okay.
But the next time he wounds this round,
He'll deal less.
deal less.
Oh,
One that's
okay.
very close.
Medyo siya, nahilo siya sa
Yeah.
ginawa mo. Okay. So, seeing the opening, you close in and you bash him with the pommel of your blade rather than the blade itself. As that strikes, Chester, I presume you're coming in.
Yeah. I'll rush him. Then I'll grab onto the blade that's on him.
Remember, there are brute squads all around, and they hit you for that many damage earlier. Yun lang. I mean, I'm fine with you guys attacking him, but I will remind you, someone's gonna get hit with another 10 and 7 damage.
Yeah. You might want
Brute squad!
you might want to deal with the,
Which is how villains work.
Yeah.
You're forced to deal with the underlings. That's a nice system. It sounds imbalanced at first. Like, what? 10 damage? But then you realize, kasi nga, you have to dispatch those people.
Break down some of the
You suffer.
the three guys around us.
Yeah, just a great guy to captain.
So to get to the
Great guy.
captain, I'll keep beating up on the three guys
Yeah.
around. Force
So
my
you
way
focus on the brute squad.
Yeah.
Deal damage to them.
while making my way
Okay,
towards
brute
the
squads work this way. They have a rating, a ranking. So currently there are 2 squads active, a 10 and a 7.
captain.
For each race you spend, the ranking goes down. So in other words, it's like there are 10 people, and every race automatically defeats one already.
Oh,
See? Which is why Riot Breaker is scary. Because you spend 1 hero point, you get 1 dramatic wound, but you eliminate immediately 1 brute squad regardless of the rank.
Oh, okay.
That's what he has.
Sige, I'll leave the captain to you. I'll use some of my races to deal with the brute squad.
Okay, how many will you spend? Just pwedeng 1 by 1 in case you want to change your actions in the later. Notice we go down descendingly in terms of the number of races we have left. You could spend all 6, 6.
Yeah.
You can spend all 6 immediately and the squad reduces down to 1. Or you could spend muna 1, so it goes down to 5, and the next turn decide to spend it down to go down to 4, in case you want to change what you're doing.
Okay, I'll spend 1 for now.
1 by 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
While making my way towards the captain.
So as you're approaching, this other guy shows up and is about to slash at you. You did what?
Well, I think I lost my weapon, so I have to use my fist. Trying to clear a path towards the
You
captain.
punch into its skull, your hand goes through, it's still wriggling and moving and it's trying to stop you, but you continue moving forward. Who else is 5? A 6? No one else.
No.
So we all go now to 5s. So you're all 5s, but I can go first because I'm a villain, and I will go first, damn it. I'm outnumbered. I'm outgunned. But I am Peter Javier.
Oh, you get to shout at the other dog.
And I have given the devil Jonah my heart and my hand.
Sorry.
And I will not be defeated in the sea.
We'll feed your bones to your dog.
With his bone hook hand. He motions towards the water. And as he motions in an upward manner, a tentacle breaks out of the water. It starts to wrap around him to pick him up. Okay. So that's my action. That's 5. Okay, you wanna go? Red Breaker?
Yep.
Charge!
So I'll spend 1 hero
You
point.
mark down 1 dramatic wound immediately. But you eliminate the 10, I presume?
Yes.
So, Argo, who has been quiet and playing the flute, charges headlong into the people, and the next thing you know, you see gray soldiers flying off the ship. And then, at the end, you're alone.
I'm
Riot Breaker.
Yeah. But now B activates, meaning if the villain targets you, he has to execute.
Oh.
Okay? You two? Your 5s?
Okay. I would. He's about to
5:30, we have to wrap you up.
Yeah. Better lunch
And we
then.
will continue having fun.
Yeah. I better lunch then.
Uh,
I'm spending all my raiders, 5. Plus the 3 weaponry.
They charge forward with a scream as he's about to be delivered away by the tentacle. You have a total of how many?
That's 5 plus
Lunch
three.
is what? Your
Weaponry.
recess plus weaponry.
Yes.
So
Plus
8
yeah. And a 3
prevented.
prevented.
You scream as you leap forward with the lunge. It's stripes that, severe and his howls as more black ichor explodes from her new strike. Your action?
I'm going to try to jump and reach for my blade that's still in him. Then after
What
that,
was your roll earlier? What approach did you use?
Brawl and brawl.
Then, grabbing the blade as you jump, I think it feels still more athletics than brawl.
Alright.
I mean, earlier, if it was just to grab it and fight, that would have been fine. But now that he's moving away, and then, yeah. So that will cost 2 races instead of just 1.
Alright.
So, pay for it. And you leave the distance, and then because you grab hold, I'll give that 1 more wound from the blade, from your weight suddenly on it. He howls, and then that's when you realize he's going to be carried away with Tobie. And you stare, unsure what to do. You are 4? You are 4. So to F5, you see Veronica. Veronica has run below the deck of the bridge. Do you chase after her? I do. Grabbing the closest rope, you leap, vanishing from the pipe, you dive in there. Of course, we will continue, but I'll just wrap this up because you have to leave.
Alright.
Huh? Oh.
I have meeting.
Sad. Until what time? What time do you have to leave? Now na, right?
Yeah, around.
Well, you're in the other ship. We'll have you both landed. Okay. We'll extend a bit for you both to have a nicer scene with Tobie. As the two of you arrive, you did swing to the other side earlier, and you climb up. You see her. You rush both to the bottom of the deck. And as you get down below, you see Veronica barreling through another set of guards, knocking them to the ground. Yes. You leading the way, him lagging a bit behind.
Hello.
Follow Veronica as deep as you can.
Hello. Okay. Hello, yes?
To your surprise, you can
Hello?
hear her calling out Captain Tobie.
He's upstairs.
Tobie! Captain Tobie! A few more figures close in. You back at them. What do you do?
I was a pusher. What are you talking about?
As you get close and call out, she turns, not sure if she notices you in time. Call it Ajivan. Stops herself. She's almost gray, and you're not sure if it's from something or from all the dust from the undead she shattered and it's clinging to her skin. He's down here. He's supposed to be down here. That's how the gray ship works. It holds its captive down below, and it's able to use their horns.
Let's go there.
She looks at you. She sees him catching up. We have to find him. And we have to help him be freed from the grave.
Alright.
You search the lower deck. I'll have you roll notice and wits.
Wits.
There are 2 consequences to be worried about. A 2-race consequence that if you do not pay for, some of the grays hit you and hurt you. Sorry, 2 points. That's fine. You were lagging behind, so you didn't hear what they talked about.
I arrived.
And then a single race needed to find the body. So basically, if you roll 3, then you cover it all. If not, then you have to choose. As she hurries off to search, Veronica looks at you and explains the same thing. The captain's down here somewhere. That's how the gray works. It captures someone, it locks them in the ship below the deck.
And who was that?
It's the gray. It can turn into anyone it has captured. We have to find the captain and we have to rescue him. That's why I did call out the warning. shakes her head. Because that's how the captain saved my life before. As you make a roll, because you're searching a different part of the ship, we have to find the bodies. They're imprisoned here somewhere. Notice and wits. The first time, and then notice and wits.
Okay, I only have 2.
You'll have to choose. You get hurt, but you find the bodies, or you don't get hurt, but you don't find the bodies for now.
I will find the body.
So you'll take one wound.
Then take one.
Okay. Some greys show up, they attack you with blades, you parry them. Others come up from behind, they try to tackle you against the wall, you elbow them. A few more scrapes and scraps. You have how many?
I'll have 2 races.
Dito,
Yeah,
yeah, you might be able to spend that for last 3 extra nights. I'm not giving you. Which is how it is in the game. Yung mga, I have no, I won't help you anymore. Yeah. You reach a doorway and you see the doorway, it's mostly bone. But inside there's a orange glow. With your shoulder, you shove against it to shatter it open. You see inside the site people that are all just standing like statues in the room. It's almost like a cabinet. Right now, all of them are normal but asleep, save for one. And you see the captain from here, currently great.
I found the captain!
As your voice calls out, you were searching. How many races did you have? You'll have to choose. There's 2 consequences of wounds, and 1 you find the bodies. If you don't pay for the 2, you'll take a wound.
I'll take it.
So you take 1 wound lang instead of 2. Once you have 2 naman you can buy up. So you mark them on 1. You fight through the breeze, and you make your way to where she is.
Yeah.
And as the 2 of you look, you see the bodies. You hear Veronica. I'm afraid now's the time you'll have to choose. You both hear the sound of a gun being flicked. And as you both turn, you see her holding 2 pistols and 1 trained to each of you. The captain told me that when he found my body, the only way to free me was to give someone else to take my place. I was planning to offer myself to get him out of here, but one of you has to go. Look at you both. I'm not losing this opportunity. Go back. The 2 of you look at each other. You don't really know each other. You sort of know her, but you feel slightly betrayed. You wanted adventure, and now you're deep in it. You're willing? Motion. Then go. Touch the captain.
I do that.
You reach out, and as you touch the captain, you see the gray shifting, spreading on your arm. Resist or let it happen.
Try that. Of course, you're instinctively accepting.
As you instinctively resist, as you give the expression to show that you're battling, what are you doing?
I will try to disarm Veronica.
Act now or wait for a moment? You'll act. Then therefore it's a risk. We will both have to roll. You are rolling against Veronica. You don't have to roll yet because your risk is pretty much narrative. And that's how the game works. Veronica has 7. I'll make it 15. Okay. Then So I have 3 races.
Alright. And what am I rolling?
Well, however you're determined.
Okay.
Are you
I'm-
slashing?
I shout.
You'll help.
Veronica!
So get to the ice.
Oh, sorry.
Three dice.
Keep in mind you still have your free 4
Yep.
from him.
Ah, yes. I have three, 4.
Yeah, and
And
then
then
roll.
I'm gonna be tackling her. With,
Run, brawl.
Run, brawl.
And you haven't used brawn and brawl today.
Yeah.
There's
So
time.
there. So that's 3, 6, 2, and 3 from you. 4. Okay. Then spin. 1. 8, 16, take 15. 2.
Well, you definitely have more than
Yeah. 3.
Yeah. That's not included.
Yeah.
No, it's included.
Yeah, 6 more.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so how many?
I would say 1, 2, 5.
Fine.
You rush forward, and as you tackle, the shots are fired to the ceiling. You feel the gray resisting, you can feel it struggling. You see Tobie's eyes have opened somewhat, he's looking at you.
Who are you? It is bliss. It is joy. I do not want to be free.
But you see him tearing up, and it's like an addict's high. In the background you can hear, "Get off me!" Fighting right now.
Wait up. Show me.
He stares at you,
Well, I'm gonna put it.
but he asks again, "But who are you?" But he has ever met you.
That's from the morning.
His eyes widen as he recognizes the name.
You're here to save me.
Gray immediately spreads on your arm as you let it now happen. The gray pulls away from him. You are what? Punching?
Just
Or pin her down? It's up to you.
because yeah,
After you tackled her and she's fired into the ceiling.
don't use it now. So I hold her in a lock. Get off me! I need to save him. I owe him my life.
I'm saving you.
Looks and sees you.
But you're
Javier speaks. He is cruel. He is violent. He will be saved in time.
I'll see you.
You let it happen now, completely doing the work.
Yeah.
As the gray wraps over him, she tries to push off you. You let her?
no.
You pin her still down, what do you do?
I call out the captain. Captain, are you okay?
The man who has now regained his color looks at you and tells you, yes, regained enough to see that you are attacking someone from my crew.
Somebody who has been attacking me as well. Please, Captain, let's go.
He steps away and looks at you as you are now walking towards your slot. This won't be over. We will find a way to break this. He's about to say more, but you can't hear it anymore. You just feel very good. Very happy. And the two of you, he's changed. The man with the hooked hand looks up and you see his face.
What the?
We will continue that fight as we wrap up this because you guys are leaving.
What's the next session?
You, sadly, it's a one shot.
Oh, okay. That's no problem.
But at least you guys have a feel of how 7C works.
Yes, yeah, absolutely fantastic.
You, I will let them find out what happens to you. But the captain definitely does not trust you. So I'll move you to, you swing out of the ship, you, Veronica, and Javier. And upon getting to the other ship, you will play through the fight. But basically the captain grabs a gun, holds you at gunpoint, and tells you to follow him down the road.
Alright.
He throws you in the bridge. And there he will have moments he will interact with everyone else.
Alright.
So, sorry you guys have to go, but we'll continue till what time?
Good.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Pass me my go-go.
That's fine.
Actually,
Yeah.
you know,
But yeah, I try to hold sessions more often. It's just that I really I have a few groups that play scheduled.
so it's a rotation issue.
We map out schedules a month in advance.
Okay.
Kasi we really lock down days. And then there are days naman with other groups for more days. So tag bites is really just my attempt to get more people to try new games. Because I have the personal commitment of 12 games per year. I'm already at 14 this year.
I haven't had one in 2 years.
So next August, I'm looking at either Doctor Who or Blades in the Dark. I'm not sure yet which one will be played. Because baka one day lang, baka isa lang ang pwede. Given the August is Rocky's birthday month. So schedules are affected and then suddenly nag-work through. So nabawasan kami ng